Welcome to another episode of Unqualified Experts. This is the show where we give advice to some of the craziest questions on the internet. People are asking some weird stuff. I understand they need support. We're here to help. I am joined by the lovely, the vivacious. I feel like vivacious is the way that you just need to be described. Ellie Stockholm.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm seriously so excited to do this.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's so funny because I'm just blind reaching out to people, and we've like flirted on Instagram before where I'm just like, yeah, she's super hot. Hello. When you're blind reach out to people though, you never know how it's going to go.
True.
I'm so lucky. Everyone's so nice and
yes,
so cool.
Of course. It's like cold calling, but we're girls, so it's way better.
Agreed. And I also have to say hello to all of the lovely wonder. I see so much green and blue in the chat. So many heathens and zunts in the chat, and all the lovely, wonderful viewers. Thank you all so much for joining. We're going to jump into a question. I was actually just telling Ellie this when we started too, that Nick does the prep for this show, so I don't see these beforehand. So this is always really exciting and fun for me too.
I love it.
So this first one says, my boyfriend is very into slapping, and I particularly don't mind it, and I enjoy seeing how he gets aroused, seeing my reactions. A few days ago, we were having some fun time, and he held me in a position that kept my chest exposed, and he slapped my bobs. Until then, it was only my legs, thighs, butt, and face. I thought it was fun, but I wouldn't be okay with it if it might harm my health long term. Is him slapping my bobs safe? I'm trying to be YouTube safe. I don't see why not. I
would say I have done the bob tossing.
Yeah.
It's very sought after. I don't see why it wouldn't be safe. I mean, the side slaps are you got to hit the side slaps. I wouldn't be like bashing that bad boy.
Right. You're not like punching it directly, but like a slap, I feel like is fine.
Yeah. Slap me around. You know what actually, let me see if I can word this appropriately. So the favorite on the reverse, bob tossing. On the reverse, I like to lean forward into a face and just back and forth, just pull,
yes,
like a cat.
Oh my god!
I say go for it, girl.
Yeah, I don't think there's any health issues with that at all. No. I think you're fine. I think that's no issue. I think when I first got mine done, I had to be careful with them. But when I emailed my surgeon last, it's not even my surgeon, it's the nurse. She emailed me back. I was like, can I go on roller coasters? And she's like, yeah, you're totally good. Like these can be flopped around. They can do whatever. We're fine. Yes.
Have you ever watched those videos where they like run them over with cars and stuff?
Yes.
Girl, flop ain't gonna do no damage.
Such a good point. My surgeon also showed me when I first got them done. I actually have this set, my first set.
Oh my god!
Here, he gave them back to me when he redid them. Upset. I have my first set, and they're like, I don't think I could rip them or break them if I wanted to. Like they're
the funniest thing that could happen though would be if it did just suddenly bust open.
I know.
That would be hilarious.
We're like, actually, maybe we're wrong. Maybe you should have him slap your boobs. Just
Take
kidding. But yeah, you can like cut into them. You can run them over. Like, I think she's fine.
That was sturdy. Girl, you good.
This girl has anxiety. I can tell.
Yes, but I get it, especially, she didn't clarify that they were aftermarket, right?
True. She didn't. So it could be either way. I get it.
Could be. If it's stock, you're good for sure.
And aftermarket, you're also good.
Aftermarket, they got you covered.
You're fine.
Imagine that warranty claim. If you're in the chat and you don't know, these bad boys come with warranties on them, which I do think is hilarious.
Yep. I have a lifetime warranty. If something happens, amazing. Amazing. If something happens, the company pays to replace it. They'll pay for the surgery costs. They pay for this. Yeah. That's fantastic.
She's good.
Lady, you're fine. You're just fine. Before I move on to the next question, I'm thanking some people because we're over halfway to bikini already. We're at 110 last time I checked. Yeah, we're at 110. So I'm thanking some people. I know this is crazy. From Backhand, let's call it an Australian golden shower boy. The exchange rate's getting better to you backhand, though. Was it 52? He said, "Hi, Zia. Hi, Ellie. Love and hugs."
Oh, how sweet.
Weekend hugs. Washer asked, "Does insurance cover theft and fire?"
You know what? That's a good question. We should ask.
But can you imagine someone coming in and stealing our boobs?
Your bobs.
Bobs, our bobs. Damn it.
Jesus. Get it together, lady.
Dude, producer Nick literally just looked at me and went like this. That's
Shame.
unmessed up. I'm the worst, though. He's constantly like, "Do you have to stop swearing?" And I'm like, "F-bomb this," and I'm trying. It's so hard.
It is a task. That's why I am cool not going on TikTok anymore, because it's hard. It's hard out here for a free speech girly, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. All we want to do is say all the things, okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Another golden shower boy also from RJP. RJP, thank you so much. Hello, gorgeous Zia. I sent this early to make sure you get it. I got it. Bad storms might hit my area around the time of your live stream, so I hope I am able. So I might not be able to watch tonight. That is so freaking sweet, RJP. Oh my god, you freaking sweetheart. He did send that like an hour ago too, and I saw him in the chat. So I hope Franklin, yours is next. I'm not skipping it. So I hope that he's okay, and I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're able to. There we go. Yeah, RJP is in the chat. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed everything stays safe there. Everything stays safe there. And I saw that there's like a tornado watch all across and up, and we're getting hit tomorrow a little bit even here.
Is there? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you in Vegas?
I'm in San Diego, so I really cannot complain about a single ounce of weather. But I did live in Colorado for like 2 years. I had a tornado warning while I lived there, but more importantly, because I lived in California all my life, I had never seen real lightning. So the first lightning storm that happened when I lived there, it struck my neighbor's house, and I remember having this like come to Jesus moment, because I had no clue what like real storms were like.
Right.
Insane.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think about that because I grew up in Hawaii and crazy storms there. Like we've had hurricanes, flooding. I remember once there was a flood so bad we couldn't leave our subdivision because it washed all the road away. And if we tried to drive through, we would get like a truck got carried away. And there was someone standing by where it was, where the road had been washed away. There's just giant river, and he was standing out there because he lived in the house, and he's like, "Don't do it. The truck just got washed away." Like, oh my God. Thunder, lightning, hurricanes, all that crazy stuff. But yeah, I lived in LA for 7 years, and you're right. Not a single storm. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, you'll get some rain and you're like, "Oh my God, the gutters are full. That's crazy." But that's it.
Are hilarious in LA when it rains. Oh, hilarious. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's a nightmare. You're not from El Centro near San Diego. Was that a question for me?
I think he's just saying maybe you're not far from El Centro. I don't know.
I'm not far from El Centro. No, that's true. I actually go shooting very close. Oh, I've been using them boom boom sticks. I don't know if you can talk about that on here.
I've brought it up before. I think you can. I want to say.
Okay. There's a place. So if you know where El Centro is, you know where Jacumba is, and my booty butt be heading out to Jacumba, and I go shooting out there all the time.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. I've only been shooting once, and it's so fun.
Oh, I have one of my safes in my room right here.
Oh, very nice.
And then I have another one downstairs. So I have a little bit of a problem.
I don't think that sounds like a problem. That doesn't sound like a problem to me. That sounds great. Araya, I'm so glad that you guys are okay. Holy crap. She just said we had just had crazy tornadoes just now. She said that they're okay.
In here, you guys are so sweet.
I love everyone here. Aren't they I don't know how these amazing people, I say this all the time, but they found me, and they're like the sweetest group of heathens online in the world. I don't understand.
I love that. That makes me so happy for you, and even happier to be here.
Yay. Oh, and Franklin, I'm reading yours next. Okay, Franklin, hold on a second here. Franklin with 53.58 to even everything out, by the way. He evened everything out. Thank you, Frank, because poor backhand, it's not his fault. There's an exchange rate, and I can't do math. So if there's dollars and cents in there, I can't do it.
I get that. I get that. The exchange rate does mess me up.
I hate it. Frank,
It's
it worked. Sorry. It worked. It worked. You got it even. It is at 53.58 and you evened everything out. He said, I just wanted to wish you ladies the best tonight. Best. Sorry. I've had this problem that should have been nippled. I'm in the bud by now. Nipped. Why does tits always happen to me? This? Alas, I've made a boob of myself again. Haha, I made you read that. I had to read that in its entirety because that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, we're having a server error.
Oh no.
It's just on the tip bar, but it's okay. I'll do the maths in my brain, maybe kinda.
Hi, Chris. I will absolutely see you at the NOLA Skank Fest. Yes, if you guys see me at Skank Fest, please come say hi. I swear I'm super nice, even though sometimes I look like I'm walking around and I look like I'm really mean. I promise I'm not. I'm actually like the nicest person, and as an added bonus, I'm a little bit shy, so you can help like bring me out of my shell.
I am the exact same in on streams and in podcasts, not at all. As soon as I get into like inhuman situations, I'm like, I forgot how to be a person.
Yes.
Oh no. I don't know why.
Yes, when I did my like step into the comedy community, if you will, is I did on LOS. I did the Ring Girl competition.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, I remember. Okay, yes.
So that was a few years ago. I've been to all of the Skank Fests for the last few years, and I absolutely love going because of my line of work, right? People think I'm like this super like bold person, right? I get super shy. I was asked to be a judge on the Nothing On
Naked
roast.
roast? Yeah,
Okay,
I think
I
we
don't know
can
what I
say
can say
that.
here.
I
I'm being
know, me
so
neither. I'm
careful.
constantly,
I
like,
really
getting
don't get
myself
you
in
in trouble.
trouble,
Yeah.
but I think we're okay with that stuff.
Okay, I seriously felt like I was gonna black out. I said yes because I'm like, "Yes, of course, no big deal." I thought I was gonna black out. Having to, like and everyone's like, "Your work." I'm like, "That's different." Like, it's not in
So
front of
different.
a live studio audience.
So different. People do not it is so different, and just because you get naked and do stuff on camera for a does not mean that you're I'm comfortable with my body, but it's such a different thing.
And then, like,
I
also, it's different when people come to see you, whereas in that scenario, I'm like, nobody aside from the one person who was like, "Hey, you'll do it," um, nobody will nobody asked to have me there, right? So there's, like, this moment of, like it's different because people chose to be there on that side of things,
Right.
whereas in a situation like that, that may not necessarily be the case for that person, you
I
know?
don't think anyone's gonna complain seeing you at a naked roast, though. I don't think, anyone is having a problem with that.
Well, I don't know. I'm a shy girl, okay?
I understand because 'cause I'm the same way. I'm like, "Nobody wants to see that," and people
Yeah.
are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't know." "Do you? I guess, okay."
Just saying
I'm
things,
sorry.
okay?
Yeah. Um, Rod Tholomew also for 40. I don't even think he's here right now. He just said, "Happy Friday. I'm up to Friday shenanigans, but I hope you and Ellie have an excellent stream tonight." So he's probably up and out of here. Rod, thank you so freaking much. Thank you so much. We are at one time, we are 90 away from bikini, and I did get a new bikini today. Just gonna say. I'm
Oh.
very excited.
Have we
Someone
been
got it.
sticking to the old ones?
Sorry.
Have we been sticking to the same one for a while?
Well, I have, oh God, I don't even know how many I have. Probably, I should count at least 50.
Yeah.
Maybe 40, I don't know, a lot. I have a lot of bikinis and, but so I, rotate through them, but I have a bunch of bikinis on my wish list and someone just sent one.
Cute. I love that. Have you tried out the super bikinis yet?
What's a super bikini?
So it's this brand, it's called Super. I'll send you their Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
They're adorable, and I got my first one. I only ordered one because I was like, "They're $100."
Ooh.
And I'm like, "That's a lot for a bikini."
Yeah.
So but I did get one. I am unfortunately obsessed with
Of
it.
course. Of
You're gonna
course.
have to
Anything that's amazing is a lot of money. It's always the way it goes.
I know. You're gonna have to try it. They're so form-fitting and, like, perfect, just
I trust you.
they're so
Oh,
cute.
I want one now. Okay, thank you. I'm excited. Now I'm gonna be like, so guys, I'm gonna need to crowdfund some bikinis.
Yes, make a wish list. It's a good wish list item.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, do they sell them off on Amazon too?
They're not on Amazon, but are you using Amazon?
I'm using Amazon. I was using Throne, but or I was gonna try to use one, but they wouldn't let me because of some of the platforms. It was something weird happened where like I couldn't sign up for it. But maybe there's another one.
Throne is what I use, but I have a direct connect with them, so I'll see if I can because then you can do
Anything.
off Amazon links, yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God, that would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. We're going to do more questions, guys. We're doing more unqualified. It's experting. And this one probably doesn't involve bikinis, but now I'm thinking about them. Okay. So, my best friend and I have been super close for years. We've both been through everything together. I love her dearly and would never want to do anything to hurt her or damage our friendship. But recently, her husband brought up the idea of the three of us having a threesome. That's not a smart husband. I was honestly shocked. I've never given either of them any reason to think I'd be into something like that, and it kind of caught me off guard. I don't know if my friend is actually into the idea too, or if this was just his fantasy, but now I feel weird being around them. I haven't said anything yet because I'm not sure how to approach it. I really don't want to ruin our friendship, but I also don't feel comfortable being in this position. Do I bring it up with her? Do I ignore it and hope it goes away? I'm just scared this could affect our friendship long term, and I'm feeling really awkward now. Has anyone dealt with something like this? What would you do in my shoes?
Oh my God, I have the perfect solution. If she doesn't want to do it, I think, and so when I did my first experience in that side of things, I did choose a friend because
Okay.
I needed it to be somebody that I trusted. I altered back and forth between the idea of a total stranger in case it goes south, right? Or a friend. And I ultimately chose a friend because I needed somebody that I trust that felt safe. So my advice would be taking a very positive spin on it. What I would say is I would thank her for trusting you. I feel like that keeps the conversation positive. I'd be like, girl, thank you so much for trusting me and feeling like you would be comfortable enough to do that with me. It's not really something I'm into, but I really appreciate you thinking that I could be the fit for you. Keeps it positive, but shuts it down. I don't think you should ignore it.
That is I don't even have anything to add to it. That's the best advice. Like that's literally perfect advice. And it's so funny because I would have thought, but you're right. I guess it just depends that maybe a stranger would be better, like you said, in case it goes south.
Yep.
But I guess if it's someone that you really, really trust and that you're very close with, Frank is asking, did you remain friends afterwards?
Yes, we did. We got matching tattoos afterward.
You're like, we had this experience. Let's get a tattoo.
Yes, the tattoo wasn't anything crazy or relevant, but it was super fun.
That's awesome. That's like the sign of a really, really good friendship.
Yeah.
Like a really good friendship.
She was not into it. Afterwards, she was like, "Hey, I'm glad I had the experience." She was fine during. Let me clarify.
Right. Yeah, she just afterwards realized it's not for her.
Yeah, it's not for her, but she was like happy that she got the experience, and it was something that brought us a little bit closer. So now it could have totally gone the opposite direction, and who knows what happens in that scenario? You could ruin the friendship, and that was the fear. But
it worked out. So you know what? I think your advice is absolutely spot on. Just let her know that you don't feel comfortable with it, but thank her so much for thinking of you and trusting you enough. That's like literally the perfect advice. Because it could also get weird with the husband. And if you're around all the time, like
yeah.
I don't know. It's just sketchy waters to be in. I know there are apps for that.
Yes. I also feel like it depends on the fact that he brought it up. I want to know if he brought it up. He brought up the idea, right? That's what
yeah.
Which is bold, sir.
Yeah.
Was he like, hey, this is something I'd be willing to try if you're open to that? Who do you think would be a good fit? Or was he like, hey, we should totally do this with your specific friend? That would be.
I think he said with your specific friend.
Okay.
That's why I said this guy is not smart.
Yeah. So I wouldn't hang out with him anymore.
No.
Palpable tension.
Yeah, he done fudged up. That's like rule number one.
Yeah.
Every guy wants to have a threesome, but you don't do that. You don't be like, hey, I really want to sleep with your friend.
No, we know. No guy's gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
No, it sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, that's a bad. And CW, speaking of three ways, CW with another golden shower boy. CW, thank you so much. Three-way was the and Ellie. How many minutes you guys lasting? How many minutes are you guys lasting? Now we're at 120. We are 80 away. You guys are incredible.
Someone
Incredible.
asked earlier if I am a gamer girl. I don't identify as a gamer girl because I only play one game nowadays.
What are you playing?
I play Call of Duty, and I don't do Warzone. I specifically just hop online, TDM, and play. I used to really like storyline games. I really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption. Oh my God, I'm going to forget the name of it. The zombie one.
Not 7 Days to Die. No.
Days Gone.
Oh, yes, Days Gone. Okay.
I used to love them. I also really wanted to do Last of Us. I just haven't had a chance yet. They just released it for PS5. I am a PS5 girly. Sorry if you're hardcore against it.
Yeah. People are so either one way or the other. It is like the craziest. I was never a PlayStation gamer, always Xbox, and now mostly PC. But I don't really care either way.
I hate PC players because they're so much better than me. But other than that, I don't really have a preference. It's just PC timing is so much faster. Eventually, I would like to set up a PC, but again, I just only play so much. Thank you, backhand. I appreciate being safe here.
You are safe here.
But I don't identify as a gamer girly because I'm so set in my ways. And I feel like it's not the exciting gaming that people want to see, you know?
Well, I don't know. People watch all kinds of stuff. And I mean, playing Call of Duty, it was Call of Duty, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was like, I could have swore that's what you said, but my brain got caught up.
You swore right.
Okay, good. I swore right. I feel like anyone would love to see a hot chick play Call of Duty. I don't think that's.
But listen, I'm not a hot chick when I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm a feral demon being who gets on the mic just to berate.
That's amazing.
So I'm not the best human, you know. I'm not at my best.
That's none of us are at our best when we're gaming.
But I grew up on PlayStation. I think the first thing I ever played on was Nintendo 64. And then when the first ever PlayStation came out, my brother got one. And I would always steal it, obviously. And like Frogger and God. Frogger and what's Rayman? Did you?
Oh, I never played it, but I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Obsessed. I was obsessed with those. And then just ever since then, that's what I grew up on. So that's what I knew.
Yep. I grew up on Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, 007, like all of those games. I mean, just, oh God. And there's such a nostalgia attached to them. Whenever I see Banjo-Kazooie, I'm just like, oh, like it makes my whole heart so happy. I
still love Frogger so much.
They're so fun. Those games hold up. They really do. I'm playing for the first time the Oblivion remaster. Oh. And also just so much nostalgia. It's just such a freaking good game. It's such a good game. Good.
I'm a subpar gamer girly. I'm sorry. That was
no. Go ahead. You're a what gamer girly?
I'm a subpar.
Honestly, same. I'm terrible. I do it because it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. No. I just love it.
Yeah.
Saw also, I did miss your membership. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. He said, thank you for being a member for 12 months, a heathen for 12 months. He said, hi, Xia and Ellie. Love the tattoos and you look very beautiful. Today is the start of my 10, 12-hour nights at work. Holy crap, Saw.
Oh.
You sweet little gem, you. And I hope you're getting enough sleep and enough rest. I know you have surgeries to get, so I understand, but like he has a hernia surgery he needs to fix. And then another one. I know. And I get it. I'm also saving for hernia surgery.
Are you?
Yeah, I have 3 hernias, but one of them I know I need to take care of. The other ones I've had for, I don't know, longer than 10 years for sure. They just, don't hurt, so I pretend they're not there.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I am waiting on labrum surgery in my left shoulder.
Oh.
So many people have told me it's like the worst thing ever that I think maybe I just won't actually.
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lecture you because I would do the same shit. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"No, you need to get it done," but I'd be sitting there being like, "I'm not doing that." That's
No, yeah,
crazy.
no. It's my non-dominant arm, so I'm like, who needs her? You know,
Does it hurt?
it depends. So when it first happened, yes, so bad. I was being the hugest baby, and I have a very high pain tolerance, so I knew something was wrong. I did think that someone just had a really good idea about your bikini goal.
What is it?
He said on bikini at 250.
Ooh.
Smart man.
Very smart man. We can include gifted memberships to get to that 50 if y'all want to do that too. Just saying it. So if we like hit 200 in donations, if we get another 50 in gifted memberships, that will count tonight. Franklin also gifted a membership to Psychotic Mongoose. Thank you so much, Frank. It didn't go to MA, but we love Psychotic Mongoose. We've been trying to get MA a gifted membership since my memberships came back, and it's I think there's been like over 200 gifted memberships, and she still hasn't gotten one. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous.
Oh, Araya, please, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I am so sorry. I'm genuinely trying to do my best.
It's Araya, but I called her Araya for months.
Okay, great.
I feel so bad.
Araya, I'm so sorry to hear that. I thought I tore my rotator cuff is what I thought I did.
Ooh.
And I went in and they were like, no. So then they sent me for an MRI. And oh my God, James, thank you so much, especially for the Alt Awards. I went to get my MRI and within 2 days, so I tore the labrum. It was at the gym. And when you tear your labrum, I guess what will happen is the like synovial fluid in the joint will leak out and it makes cysts. So the pain was really coming from the cysts. So when it first happened, it was gnarly. But now it's really only if I way overdo myself, which I know I'm doing in the process, and I just deal with it, or if I sleep on my left side, which fortunately I normally sleep on my right side or my stomach. So
Okay. I understand.
Everyone's making terrible, and I'm like, all right, well, you convinced me. I'm good then.
Well, because like the whole thing with surgery is, yeah, I know it fixes it eventually, but in the meantime, you're in a bunch of pain. You can't do anything. You have to take time off. You have to recover. It sucks. The whole thing sucks. Surgery sucks.
Well, and the surgeon, the labrum is very easy to re-tear. So he's like, if you plan on like continuing to like lift weights or whatever, you might as well not get it. And I'm like, I mean, at that point in time, I was like, I don't really care about doing upper body. The arms don't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about that booty,
body, we got to keep that thing going. But ultimately, okay. So Frank, I asked about a cortisone shot, but because I'm on the list for the surgery, they said that they don't want to give it to me because so they actually give me a 9 to 12 month schedule time. Totally reasonable.
That's so long.
Yeah. So I asked for the cortisone shot to reduce, it's the swelling that's coming from the cysts and everything going on in there. And they said they wouldn't do it because if they had an opening that was earlier and you've had the cortisone shot within 3 months, they won't do the surgery. But they did give me like a couple oral rounds of it, but then they cut me off because it's bad for you. It's been a whole thing. I think I'm just going to give up is really.
That's such a pain in the ass. I hate that. That is why injuries are I have a couple times tweaked my rotator cuff where I'm like, I swear to God, if I freaking pulled my rotator cuff and be so pissed. Yeah. But it was just a tweak. So it was one of those where it just healed on its own. In like a couple weeks, I just rest it and let it do its thing. But yeah, maybe physical therapy would be a good idea. Maybe there's some physical, I don't know if that's a real thing, but that you can do for that.
So I can do it for, so the issue that comes from the torn labrum is your shoulder will slide out, right?
Okay.
It
Okay.
just leaves. So the labrum itself cannot be healed on its own, but you can strengthen the muscles around it so that way it reduces that. So that is what I will do. I
That
have not. I have not.
yeah.
I won't lie. I should and I haven't, but I will.
You will. Yeah. I've
Once I commit
literally
to
the
not doing
exact
the surgery. No, if
exact
I commit to not doing the surgery, I'll do the PT.
and that should help a little bit, right? Is there any way they can go in and like pop the cyst so that they or like remove the cyst so that no, that's just a
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Cysts are painful no matter where they I have a lot of cysts like ovarian.
Ovaries, yeah.
Yes, those and sometimes this is the worst during sex, they'll burst. It's been a while. They'll burst and
Mhm.
it hurts like a freaking mother.
Can I ask a personal question?
Yeah.
Are you on contraceptives?
No, I'm not. They make me so nervous. Last time I went on, they fucked my day up.
Interesting. I am also not on them, but I had a lot of issues with cysts when I was on them. So when I got off, they,
Mm,
like, almost stopped. But
damn.
damn it, I
I
don't have any tips.
that would have been great. Yeah, I haven't been on birth control in years. It's been 12 years now.
I love that for you.
Thank you. And it's honestly it's working out just fine. I don't think I need
Yeah,
it.
so good.
We got more gifted memberships. Holy crap.
Oh,
Slosher just gifted 5 XiaLand memberships. One went to Max Powers, one to Scotty, one to Zeke Zion, one to Steph. Yay. And one to Chody. Chody got one. Still none to MA. This is ridiculous. Old Nerdy sent one and it went to CMDR Ed Straker of Shadow. That and then resent one and it went to Justin Channels. And then, oh my gosh, RJP as well has a 1 month. He said, hello, Zia and Ellie. RJP, thank you so much. And that is a Zunt membership, not just Ethan, a Zunt. Backhand, what are we at now? Backhand, I'm sorry. I'm going to lean on you for math because my brain is stupid. So it was 120 plus whatever the gifted memberships were. It was like however many that is. I don't know now. I'm sorry, Backhand. Please do math for me. In the meantime, we'll do another question.
yes.
Thank you, Backhand. Okay. Okay, so my girlfriend and I thought of getting a DNA test because we thought it would be interesting. She's Latina, I'm Filipino, and we both live in the Bay Area. Anyways, we spat on the test tube, mixed the fluid, and dropped it in the mail. We got our results after 5 weeks, and we were both shocked to find that we shared 84 cm of DNA. Now I'm really scared because what if we get into a random family reunion and my girlfriend just so happens to be there? Keep in mind, for us Filipinos, we would meet relatives I have never even seen before just because we want to do a family reunion. Now I'm developing a weird fetish because of it. Any advice? What fetish? I'm
The
gonna
I
just
don't think we can
say the help
I
me.
don't think we can say that word, but
Okay, yeah. Oh no.
just keeping it in the fam, you know?
So like the Lannisters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's giving Game of Thrones.
Oh no. And now he has a fetish about it.
Yeah, you know,
Oh. Oh.
I that is a tough one. Did it say how long they were together? I might have missed that.
I don't know. Let me see. I don't think so. Um, no, they didn't say. Just my girlfriend and I thought of getting a DNA test because we thought it would be interesting. I mean, if she's Latina and you're Filipino, that means she has to have some Filipino in there.
She's Latina Fino.
Latina Latina Fino. I like that. That's a good one.
You know,
I mean, I
I
don't know.
only asked because regardless, the answer is don't do that anymore. But it would be much more complicated had it been like 10 years deep, you know? You're like a decade in with this person and then you're like,
Right.
mm.
You're married, you already have kids. Like, what do you do then?
You're like, that explains what happened to Bobby, whatever.
Yes.
That's what's wrong with him.
Now it explains everything. Oh no. Oh no. Honestly.
Goodness.
I mean, you can't sleep with people you're related to. It's just
It's
not
a
a good
lot.
idea. You shouldn't
I
do it.
hope. Yeah, I think there's some states with, like, weird, like, third cousins are fine.
I was gonna say that. I think it's third cousins, and you can marry a third cousin in a few states. At least I know a few states.
Yeah. So I
Uh,
guess but you shouldn't, I
you
would say.
shouldn't. It's
I'd
just
say there's a
s
lot of other people in the world, it's not that slim pickings. It's
yeah, you can get out there. You can
yeah,
find someone. That's
hit the
don't
local pub, girl. I don't
I it sucks, like, it sucks if you fall in love with someone, and then you find out that you're related, like, whole I don't even know how I'd handle that. What do you do?
I in the most immature way, just block them and move, just
I mean, you have to, yeah, you can't stay together, but, like, imagine the trauma of that. You're going to therapy and you're like, "So, I fell in love with someone, turns out we're related." Like, how do you even work through the fricking trauma of that?
or, like, you're going on a date, you finally meet someone, and they're like, "What happened in your last relationship?" And you're like,
Ugh.
"Well, uh, it
Oh,
turns out we were a lot closer than we thought." Okay?
no. Oh, no. We we shared some DNA. We
Yeah,
shared some DNA just quietly.
and
They're
not
like, "Excuse me, what?"
yeah, not in the way you think. Just,
Not that way. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, moving on. You gotta figure out if you're actually related, and you gotta get the hell out of there if you are, because
yeah,
that's not so good. I
yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. So this guy says, "My girlfriend made a comment that my member was small and it made me upset. She recently just did it again. This time out of anger, I said, maybe you're also down there is too big," which I probably shouldn't have said. So we stopped immediately after we both said what we said. So I asked her what she said my penis was small twice now and if she was being serious. She said no and that she can feel it. I asked her then why would she say that? Asked her why and she said it was a joke. Okay, this is bad writing. So I asked if I'm much different from other Ds you've had, and she said yes. I then asked how I was different, and she said it had to do with size. Since then, she has said she's had up to 9 inches before. And other than me, I'm the smallest she's had is 7 inches. I'm the smallest she's had. In shock, I don't know what to say, so I just brushed it off. Ever since we've had that sex twice, she hasn't moaned or done what she used to. I haven't asked as I don't know if I want to. Is it me? What should I do? That's horrible. That's
That is horrible.
awful. What an asshole.
Saying it now, I do wanna say, guys make these jokes all the time. And in that scenario, hilarious. It's funny if a guy
Mhm,
says it, that's
mhm.
great. I would never say that to a significant other. What I was gonna say is before we got to the part about no more, like, expressing enjoyment in the time, up until that point, I was like, "Okay, maybe she just has really poor taste in jokes."
Trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Right, for the benefit of the doubt, but, ultimately, relationships, when it comes down to relationships, I have a lot of stance on, like, levels of relationships, and when you're at
Mhm.
that, like, high level of relationship, while the intimate stuff is important, it's not the foundation, right?
Agreed, yeah.
But then we went into the she's no longer expressing gratitude or enjoyment, sorry, during that time, at which point I would say, "Bye." I couldn't handle it. I couldn't
No.
handle
And honestly, I just wouldn't first of all, I do believe and I've got a dark sense of humor and like my husband jokes about my dead mom and I laugh. Like I
Right.
my sense of humor is but there are especially in a relationship with a significant other, there are lines that you shouldn't cross, and I really think that's one of them. I
Yes.
really especially when you're in the middle of sex, you should not be making shitty comments about the other person's body. Like, you
Yeah.
hear that stuff, I don't care how much of a good sense of humor you have, you will internalize that shit and you feel it. Like,
Yeah.
that's so uncool to
Yeah.
say that while they're having sex, and then, yeah, like you said, sure, she could have been making a joke about it, but like it was a shitty joke, and but then
Yes.
she mentioned it again.
And then she's turning out, acting differently in the room. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
No,
No,
no. I think he should probably leave. That's just a
I would
garbage.
leave.
And if
Yep.
he's 7 inches, that's bigger than most. You're
Yeah.
doing fine, sir.
Not
Like,
small. Not small, above average with, like, scientifically above average.
mhm.
She's She's in her size queen era, and you just gotta let her go.
Just let her go. Let her go off and be with the size. Like, I don't. That's. That was a trash move on her part. That bummed
Yeah,
me out. Girl, come
I
on.
love making people feel good. I could never imagine saying that to somebody like that,
Right?
especially a significant other. That's crazy.
There are things that you don't comment on when you're to your significant other, and I do honestly think body is one of them. If you have a legitimate concern, there's a way to approach that. Like
Yeah,
if you're legitimately concerned that your partner is gaining too much weight to where it's getting to an unhealthy level, then you can be like, "Hey, look, we need to talk about your health here." But
yeah.
like I don't think it's cool
Also,
to.
not in the middle of intercourse.
No. No, that's
So
the
while I'm
worst.
back here,
Right? By
I
the
just needed to
way,
talk to you.
yes. MA, this is a good point. Body, no comment. Body odor, please say something sooner rather than later, but in a nice way. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. You need some deodorant, I'd be like, hey, buddy.
my favorite personal move for that, if you're in the bedroom, like things about to go down, let's start this off with a nice little shower. Let's just, and then you just spend some
Yes.
extra time on the whatever stink.
Mhm. Well, because you don't know what's going to happen. What if they go for some salad tossing and you just want to make sure everything's good
Yeah,
down there? You don't want any surprise
all
salad tossing because no.
prime and ready.
Oh my God, Frank. Frank said my ex-wife thought I called her hoo-ha big twice, but it was just the echo.
I was doing a scene with a girlfriend of mine, and I was back there. I was back there, right? I was just checking things out for
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And I yelled. I went, "Hello, hello." It was
See,
amazing.
that's funny.
It
That's
was
funny because it's just
peak
it's a
energy.
legitimate
Yeah,
joke.
of course.
Yes. There's
Hilarious.
a punchline, it's hilarious. You're not
Yeah,
just like, "You're small."
yeah.
Like, that's not a joke. That's funny.
Larry, if you're going back to the one in August, I'll be there again. Come say hi.
Story Wars. You know who was just on? I just met Krakamiko.
He's
He
so
was so
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's such a sweetheart. He's also shy in person a little bit, you know?
I can see
It
that.
it's funny how that happens when, you don't expect it and then you meet the person and not that it like it's just not like the online persona always.
Yes.
But yeah, he was so sweet. It was nice to meet him. I was down there doing I guess I can talk about it because Lewis talked about it on his stream. So I'm going down next Wednesday. I'll be hosting a podcast with Naeem Ali on Gas Digital. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a true crime
Oh,
podcast.
yes. Okay, I saw this and I am so excited about it. Literally every day while I'm getting ready, all I listen to is true crime because I'm mentally unstable.
I love
You
you.
know, not a normal thing to say, but that's what I do. That's my like zen, like getting ready. I gotta get into. I saw that on Lewis Journal, and I was so excited. I cannot wait to see it.
I am so pumped. We recorded one episode. I don't know if that one's ever going to go out. It was kind of like a test episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Maybe Lewis will put it out. Maybe we won't. We'll just move from this next one. But I'm going down next week, Wednesday. We're going to record, and I think it's going to come out in the first week of June. So
I'm really
I
excited for you.
can't
I
wait.
will be in there just watching like it's my job.
Yay! Oh my God. Okay. I'm beyond excited about this. So yeah, that's an announcement I can finally tell everyone because Lewis said it. So once Lewis said I will was being hush hush about it. Also, because I didn't know if it was actually gonna happen or not. I'm just
Yeah,
like, we'll just, wait and see how it goes. But yeah, so that's now I can say it's happening and it's
I'm so
happening.
excited for you. That's gonna be so fun.
I know. Thank you. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're unqualified. I feel like we're giving some really good advice tonight. I'm impressed with us.
I do too. You know, who said unqualified? I mean,
Right? I think we might actually be qualified experts, everybody. I think we might be qualified experts. And we're at 160 right now on our way to bikini. I think I can wear my pink one too. I forgot to get up there and grab it. Okay. Franklin, stop it. I could never leave you. Hi, Kayron. I could never leave you guys. Reese, thank you. Okay.
Tiffany, yes. Tiffany, yes. I've talked to you before in the RLC.
Oh, yes. For Tiff, she's such a freaking sweetheart too. The RLC, racist left
Yep.
jet.
I'm like, can we say that? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm always like, I don't want to censor myself so much, but I know I need to with certain things. So I try really hard not to swear, but then I do sometimes, but I try not to.
I'm
But
really thinking about everything I say right now.
I know YouTube is really uptight. They need to calm down.
They do.
Okay, so I think this is a guy. Maybe I've just been unlucky, but I feel like most of the women I've dated or hooked up with were always vanilla outside of maybe one. The one liked rough sex, put in an effort in the bedroom, and pretty much let me do whatever I wanted with her. Outside of that, it's been so boring. Then when you look on Reddit and other amateur videos, it just seems like everyone is down for anal, group sex, public stuff, etc. I've tried sites like FetLife and Field, but those seem to be dead in my area despite living near a big city. For those out there that found a sexually compatible partner, did you just get lucky or did you make that stuff known super early on the dating process?
So I feel like there's a way to address this from two angles. One, I'm a parent and a step parent.
Okay.
When there was a conversation that had to be had at one point because somebody was looking something up, right? And it's totally normal and it's okay. But my number one thing that I wanted to get across was, number one, for the love of God, please use private browser because I don't want to have to click and see what is being searched. Please, Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
Number two, I like to compare it to, I compared it to action movies. They're super awesome. They're really fun. It's not necessarily real, right? It's not necessarily realistic, real life. It's not a blanket, like this is what your expectations should be. That being said, I feel like if you are interested in those certain things, I know I'm interested in some things that are not necessarily everyone's cup of tea.
Same.
So when I will meet people, I'm usually, and I think it's going in that direction, obviously. I don't just tell everyone I meet.
Right.
I'm usually pretty upfront about it because I know it's necessary for me to be like wholly fulfilled. I just be getting it out there.
Just get it out there and say, hey, this is what I'm interested in.
Yep.
I also think there's something to be said, and I know, like you had mentioned, I guess sex is different. The importance of sex in a relationship is going to be different from person to person. But as you had mentioned before, that's not really the foundation because you can have great sex with someone and then you are just not compatible. You don't have a good relationship. You have nothing in common. Like that happens all the time too. So I think there's something to be said for just massively communication.
Yeah.
And
I also think that a lot of people are sometimes just afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
So the way that you approach it, if you're looking to try something that's new to you or just new to them, whatever it may be, taking a really like, hey, maybe there's a accessory you'd like to try out, right? Let's go take a look at the store, see what, this one looks pretty cool. Make it like a fun little joint thing. Don't just spring it on a girly.
Yeah. And
that could backfire.
Don't make them feel bad about not doing. Come at it from it's because if you come at it from a like, wow, you're lame, you don't do this, or like, well, oh, it's then of course they're not going to want to do it. If it's coming from like a pushy and you're making them feel bad about it kind of way, either way you do it, then yeah, you're just an asshole. Of course they're not going to want to do it. If you're someone that makes them feel comfortable enough to open up, a lot more can happen.
I also feel like if you are, it doesn't even have to be a necessary like upfront, yeah, I'm absolutely 100% okay with that. But if you can get the vibe from someone that they're willing to explore and experiment when they're comfortable, I feel like that's not necessarily someone you need to like shut down right away. You know, there's potential there if you're trying to work on it. If you're just looking for like a one night, I want to try this out and I need a girly, I mean, be upfront about that for sure. Just make it your Tinder bio, you know?
I really want to try, the Slovakian traffic cone, and you just
Yeah.
see how that goes. I'll never unknow what that is.
Yep.
Oh God. And Ellie's like, yes. But that's another thing too. When you get close to, like, if you're looking for a legitimate relationship, when you get close to someone and you foster a connection, then they will be more open to trying new things. And then you have to also be reciprocal with that, because maybe there's some stuff that they want to try that you should put effort into.
I find this so interesting from a male's perspective because I have found, generally speaking, I'm the one who feels like a little bit of a predator sometimes. But what I will say is men always say yes. Always. They're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Most of the time, I will say, unless it has something, I will say one thing that guys are a little squirrely with is if it's anywhere near their behinds area. Some guys are super into it. Some are like, don't you even go near that.
That is my jam.
That's your one. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what you're super into. So you got to find the guys that are like, yeah, let's go.
Yep. And now I've had to work on it for some. I've had to work on it, and it's been a labor of love.
Okay.
They come around.
They're like, actually, it's so funny because when I worked in LA, all of my managers were gay men, which is actually great. But it was so funny. I remember one of them mentioning to me once, they're like, man, straight guys are really missing out. They're like, there's spots back in there.
Fright Club, I'm so sorry that you had to re-ask the question. I did not see the movie Stockholm Syndrome. However, Stockholm is not my actual last name. I did choose it specifically to be a Stockholm Syndrome reference.
Nice.
Very specific.
That's amazing. You're like, no, that was on purpose.
Yeah. What I didn't expect is I get a ton of people who ask me if I'm from Sweden, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't expect that one.
Oh, I didn't expect that one either. Are there people in Sweden that have the name Stockholm just because that's the name of their city?
I don't know. That's what I said. Or like maybe they thought I named myself that because that's where I was from.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, that is that reference.
Just for Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. I've never met anyone that actually has Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, we obviously know it's a real thing, but
that we know of.
That's a good point.
I would say I feel like toxic relationships are just stepping stones to Stockholm Syndrome.
You know what? You're right about that. That is very true. That is very true.
You're dipping your toes in. You're like, no, it's just a toxic relationship.
Well, and the amount of times that people end up in these toxic relationships and then they're like, no, but then they keep making excuses for the other person. And it's like, sometimes it's justified, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it also just means that maybe the two of you together aren't working.
RJP said, I have enough syndromes without the Stockholm.
Don't need to add any more syndromes to the list. No more. I gotta agree with that, RJP. No.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. I have down Stockholm Psycho, I swear to God.
Yeah. Yes, my name was originally Ellie Downs. It's true.
What other syndromes are there? No, I'm trying to think. Downs and Stockholm. No. Those are like the only two I can think of now.
There's definitely some like medical ones, but those aren't funny.
No, just the Downs one.
Yeah,
those ones. Okay. Oh, this next one is okay. Yikes. Our parents are away for the weekend celebrating their anniversary. So I, 18 female, invited my friend around for a girls' night, and her mom ended up tagging along. She's a young mom, 38 female, who likes to hang out with us, which is cool, but also a little sad sometimes as they're pretty much attached at the hip. What happened is she and my friend ended up crashing on the sofa and I went to bed. I couldn't sleep, so I went to make a cup of tea, but when I got to the doorway, I basically caught her having sex with my brother, 22 male, in the kitchen. Any Anyway, she glanced in my general direction. I panicked and rushed back to my room. I don't think she saw me, but I can't say for sure. I just feel really bad for my friend. I know her parents have been going through a rough patch, but I didn't expect her to expect it. Oh my God, she's with the husband. Catch her cheating like this, let alone with my brother. I don't think I can keep this from her, but at the same time, I don't want to destroy their family. What do I do here? You got to
We
tell her.
destroying that family, baby. We destroying that family.
But also, you're not destroying that family. She did.
No, yeah, yeah.
Like, that's
Yes.
the reality is you didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, that's I have a question for is this the second relative?
Yeah, why is it always with a
Is
relative?
everyone okay?
No, the answer is no. We've been doing Unqualified Experts for a long time. And when we first started it, Nick and I would do it together. And he would read the questions. And again, it was just me reacting to it because he had done all of the prep. And the amount of like family members doing stuff and with or with the family dog, it's just like what just why? What? So many.
Oh,
No.
not the
No.
dog.
Not the dog. There was a mom who came in and saw her daughter crying because the dog got stuck.
Oh my god.
And
Oh,
yes, like I do, and apparently she'd been doing it for a while, and I'm just like, why have I heard? Why do I know these things now?
oh my
I don't like it.
god. Oh,
So
yes.
anyway, no one's okay is the point.
No, nobody is. It's gotta come to light.
It's got yeah.
And, forget trying to hold that secret in. That'll ruin you.
Mm. You
That'll
know,
ruin
she has to say something. You can't let that go.
No, no, you can't let that go.
Well,
Ugh.
no, if especially because here's the thing: if your friend finds out that you knew and didn't tell her, friendship over.
Oh, yeah. 1000%.
Yeah, like
Ugh.
when I found out. Well, no, my actually, oh God. So when my dad left my stepmom for his wife, who he's now getting a divorce from, or they're separated. I mean, they're definitely going to end up getting a divorce. The reason I found out is because my sister told my best friend, and my best friend was like, "Of course, I can't keep this from her, Sia. Like, are
Yeah.
you crazy?" So she told me about it, and it was this. We were at a outdoor party, and it was, a band was. I think my dad was supposed to be playing. I think that's why he was there. Maybe not. This was also the night that my cousin got maced. This night was just pure chaos. It was this. So in Hawaii, there's a lot of like someone has a piece of property with a shack on it. And so
Yeah.
everybody will come and it'll be a huge party and a band will be playing. And then there's like a bonfire or whatever. So it was one of those. And, mud and dirt and a bunch of people were there. And it's, the sort of metal scene on the Big Island. So you really know everyone. And my dad, that was the night that I found out that my dad was sleeping with this girl that I went to high school with, who was like, had just turned 18. Yeah, like the crazy. So I'm like in a screaming match with my dad. He's like screaming in my face, like right here, being like, "You don't want me to be happy." And I was like, "What the?" Like it was, and I almost punched the girl in the face. Like they were together for a long time. Their marriage lasted 15 years. It wasn't all good, but it did. And, eventually I stayed with them for a little bit and Jasmine and I became friendly. And, eventually you're just like, I don't know if you just accept that it's reality, but like when it happened, it was just this craziest thing. So me and my dad are like screaming at each other in the middle of this party. Everybody thinks it's insane. Then I guess, so there's this guy, his name is Quinn. I won't like give out his last name, but he was fine. He was a cool dude. Never did anything like, but he would always hit on me and my friend. And it was just, but not in like an obnoxious way. It was just like, if he could do it, he would try sort of way.
Yeah.
And he's always a little flirty. And he was just kind of like, oh, anyway, my cousin was there and he was getting real sick of this guy, like being around and trying to like flirt with me. And he was just like, dude, this guy keeps bothering you. And I was like, he's not bothering me. Like I wouldn't entertain him. Like nothing ever happened. I was just kind of like, dude, whatever. But he wasn't a bad guy. He never like crossed any lines. He was just like a flirty, I'll hit on whoever I can kind of guy. And we all knew that.
All nets.
Yes. Yes. So, and we all knew that. And we were all just like, yeah, whatever. No big deal. Anyway, my cousin did not think it was a no big deal. And so
No.
no. So he gets into a fight with this guy. So they're fighting, like a physical fight. The other guy pulls out bear mace and maced my cousin in the face. And I don't know if people know, but bear mace spreads, and it spreads far and it spreads fast. So we're all caught up in this giant cloud of mace. Of course, there's the fight that breaks up after that. My cousin gets it directly in the eyes. My dad gets it in his face. I'm coughing. We're all running down the driveway like, like this was the most ridiculous night in the world. We give my cousin Nick a ride home. And he's literally standing, his mom comes out and he's standing in the kitchen. It's like 2:00 in the morning, dumping milk over his eyes because it's like burning so bad. It was so crazy. This night was absolute insanity. And that's Hawaii parties.
I have a question for you, just out of curiosity before I forget. What island did you live on?
Oh, the Big Island.
Oh, love. Okay, so I go to Hawaii every year. I'm obsessed with Kauai. I love Kauai so very much. I did forget when COVID was going on, I skipped a few years of travel because I just didn't want to deal with the shenanigans.
Understandable.
So when I went back, I forgot about just how many lifted trucks, especially on Kauai, and how big they're lifted.
All those lifted Yodas, Everybody's got a Yoda.
So I worked for Toyota for years before I did what I do now. I worked in a lot of different dealerships, but the last one I was at and the longest one was Toyota. I drive Toyotas. I have a Tacoma. I have a 4Runner.
Okay, so
But it was always so funny when I would get the calls. I did warranty claims, and I would have people who would call and ask questions about like what warranty would cover. And there would be people, very few and far between, but they would call and they'd be in Hawaii. And so I would have to ask, about modifications to the vehicle. They're like,
yep.
Yeah, I got like a 10-inch lift. I'm like, yeah.
They always have a lift kit.
Yep.
They always have a lift kit. It's so true. That's so funny that you bring that up because yes. And like those older model Toyotas too, like my whole family has Tacomas, Tundras, 4Runners, same thing. It's so hilarious. That's like the big thing there. And they all have lift kits. Yes, they do. But another thing is everybody's really into those older Toyotas, like the ones with the straight axle. Mm-hmm. Those things are like gold there. They get stolen all the time. They're selling on Craigslist for like $20,000 for a 1988. It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah. It's like a really big thing.
I have a Tacoma. She's lifted only 6 inches though, but she's supercharged. So,
ooh, see, but like cars like that go everywhere.
They do. The gas mileage in California though makes me want to cry.
I know. I will say I got a hybrid and worth it. Yeah. Worth it. I hate to have to be that person that drives a hybrid, but oh my God, it's $35 to fill the tank and it lasts forever. I'm so happy.
I do. My 4Runner is better than the Tacoma, but not by a long shot. I just like bigger vehicles.
Can keep a lot in there.
I know.
They go to all the places. I'm also used to growing up with bigger cars. Same. My dad also had, of course, a 4Runner. He had a Tacoma. No. He had a Tundra. He had the Tundra.
Okay.
I had a 1991 Nissan Pathfinder stick shift. That baby 4-wheel drive. It went everywhere. That was my favorite car. I used to put the seats down and put a mattress or not a mattress, but like a futon in the back and just sleep in the back at the beach. Sometimes it was amazing.
Yes,
amazing.
Yeah, I just did a camping trip about a week ago, and did the Tacoma. It was so much fun. James, it's so funny that you asked that. I don't drink at all. I'm not like sober. I just don't like to. I am a nicotine fan, and then in terms of anything else that I would smoke, I don't. I do edibles though. I took
that doesn't count.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't count as drugs. Anytime someone says they smoke or like take edibles or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, that doesn't count.
No, yeah.
Oh, we got one from Healer with a golden shower. Boy, look at you. Healer, thank you so much. Now we're at 170. We're getting closer. He said, Ellie, how do I sign up for your booty blasting training list?
You know what? I should start one. I should start one.
Should. What kind of workouts do you do, like, for your lower body?
Presently, I'm only doing lower body, and I also haven't been able to do squats because I can't take the bar on my
The
shoulder.
bar.
So I do a lot of, I tried to use the Smith machine some. I can do lower weight, but I don't like lower weight.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of work with my feet in different positions on the, I always want to say incline, but I think it's the decline press,
The leg press.
the leg press.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Higher
so
up, it hits your booty. If you go lower, it hits your quads.
And
Yes.
then there's the one that is the reverse, right? So where you're standing, that one's padded, so I can utilize that one. But you're back at an angle. So the pads help with my shoulder situation. That's as close as I'm getting to a squat right now. I really like, God, I don't know what that machine is called. It's where you sit in it and the pads are out here and you press them open.
Oh, it's adductor or abductor. I always get
Yes,
the two of them confused. I think it's
but
adductor.
don't sit with your back to it. Scoot forward and lean forward, and it targets the booty big time. So
Yes.
good. And then just some
Yes.
other random little leggies things, but those ones are my top booty blasters.
The booty blasters. I'm telling you, today no, sorry, not today. Yesterday, I was so excited to tell everyone I did hip thrust and I got my hip thrust up to 235.
I love a good hip thrust too. That is another great one for the booty.
My goal is to get my hip thrust up to 250. From there, I'm working it up to 300. There's this girl I follow on Instagram who has the nicest body I think I've ever seen in my life. Her butt is ridiculous, but she hip thrusts 410.
Oh my God. Okay, well now I have to get in on this competition
I
because
know. Hip thrusting. Yes. That works your ass like no, like it's amazing.
oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Ooh, yeah, I love hip thrusting. Hip thrusting and RJP just did their backhand. So I was adding the 10 to the 160 that you had already added the heathens in. So we're at 170, but RJP just donated the remaining 30 to get to bikini. RJP, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Oh my God. Okay. I have to pee and also get into a bikini.
Okay.
Are you okay if I leave you with chat for a minute?
Yeah, I'll just
Oh
answer
my God,
questions.
okay.
I know I've
I'm
seen some pop up.
okay.
Oh, no, you're fine. Take your time. Yeah, I've seen some pop up. I'm gonna lean off screen really quick, and while I do that, I will answer your question, Fright Club. Currently, the Geek Bar Sour Fab, but I have to lean off to do it. Okay, guys, we're alone now. I saw there were some questions that kept on popping up, but they were happening. Hi! They were happening while she was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. But if you have questions, I am happy to answer. Thank you so much, Tiff. I greatly appreciate it. Am I a wrestling fan? I do enjoy wrestling. I'm really not versed with like names. I unfortunately have so much limited free time that I don't get into a lot of things, sadly. But I do like it. I like to go and I like to watch. I was at JCW back in Vegas in April, and it was so much fun. Happy birthday, Hate Breed. Love that. And thank you so much about my hair and my tattoos. I am on the first one, James. I'm not on the hub. Let's see. Have I ever worn tie-dye? I have. Is that okay? Yes, whoop whoop. I had so much fun. It was an absolute blast. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I love that. I missed WrestleMania. I was out there for work stuff. Oh, my favorite candy. Ooh, that's a hard one. I am a sour girly, I would say. Most of the time, anything sour is great for me. What is my... I don't know. Anything sour, I would say. I love sour candy. Oh, someone asked about my lip ring earlier. No, it doesn't hurt anyone. I am on TikTok, Wicked One XXX. Remy, my artists have varied. So I have a I started getting tattooed the minute I turned 18, and I did not have the funds for quality work, right? So I have some old ones. I'm kind of against covering up tattoos because I feel like it's all just like part of the journey. Psycho, no naughties. Now I go to the same artist. So like the same guy who did my neck, did my chest, did my cheeks, he's doing all my stuff now. And I'm going to have him touch up some old stuff. Oh, I am not smart enough with tie-dye to know names of different patterns for sure. I wish I was. Let's see. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? Here's a sad answer. I'm allergic to pineapple. I do still eat it. However, what I was going to say about that is pineapple on pizza doesn't tend to bother me, but I don't take that risk for it. I like just raw pineapple. I like just raw pineapple. When I'm going to take a risk, that's what I be having. Let's see. Oh, how did me and my husband meet? We met at Toyota. We worked together, and now we still work together. Oh, James, I'm a switch. I cannot pick. I actually have not had al pastor pizza. I do love some al pastor tacos, though. I do take color well. Shout out to Pale Girlies. Shout out to Pale Girlies. A girl's name that completely messed me up. That is completely fair. That is completely fair. Psycho, who's a new and upcoming? I don't know. This is a pineapple free zone. I don't know. People that I find out about are usually pretty deep into already upcoming. But I have some friends, I usually will post them on my Instagram, that are amazing. They're like at the same level as me. And we're all just girlies who like to have a good fun time. So, I mean, any of my friends are a fantastic choice, but I don't know anyone who's like on the cusp of coming up. It's a name for different tie-dye patterns. Oh yeah, I know there's names for different patterns because I'll watch guys on TikTok do some like crazy tie-dye patterns, and they it's crazy. They get like, there's some really legit, seriously talented tie-dye people. I'm also counting on my right side for that argument. I'm doing split on my body, so my left side of my body is color, and then the right side is like predominantly black and gray. However, I get like little pops of color like on my Mothman. I did stick to just black and gray on my throat, my center, and my cheeks. My room looks awesome. Thank you, James. I don't think I can talk about that here, but yes. Oh, do I like chicken Alfredo pizza? I'm down for chicken Alfredo pizza. I love chicken Alfredo, and I love pizza.
Pizza. I come back to pizza.
That was so cool. It cut for you in clothing for a second, and then it cut out. I answer, Frank. I am obsessed with mint chocolate chip ice cream is my favorite.
Ha! Frank, that's not the answer you wanted. Sorry. Go on.
I keep it on just stocked in my freezer. I especially like the Dryers slow churn mint chocolate chip. Oh my, look at that. Oh, she's looking better than ice cream right now.
I'm doing the mint chocolate dance.
Yeah. James, I listen to absolutely everything. My birthday is March 12th. Is my community safe? And do you guys have a WhatsApp where we look for each other? Yes, it's very safe. And I will say it depends on the person. So there's people who are in this industry by choice, and there are people who are in this industry because they don't have any other choice. And that is the sad reality. I am extremely fortunate enough I chose to be in this industry. So fortunately, I'm extremely thankful that for me, it is very safe. We all have each other's backs. Not necessarily, there's WhatsApp groups, there's Telegram groups, there's all sorts of groups. And we definitely have each other's back. It's also a really accepting community, which has been the coolest thing ever. Bean, my body count. Wait, don't answer. LOL. That is a fun one. Okay, she's back.
Hi, lovely heathens. And also, this is new. I think Slosher asked it in the chat, and Franklin, RJP, and everybody, thank you so much. This is new. Tara Crystal, thank you so much for sending this. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna turn around really quick and once because it's just the back.
Whoa!
But the back part is really like okay. I'm working on
hip thrusting.
Thank you. I'm trying. I'm like out of a deficit too. I'm eating at almost a surplus a little bit at this point, and just trying to I'm in a little bit of a building phase. I'm trying to get the booty bigger, and then we can do another cut after that.
You're doing it, girl.
Thank you.
You're doing it. It's time to grow. It's just we're growing over here.
We're growing. We're growing the booty. Let's go. I had to pay for these, but I'm gonna work on this.
The pecs just they don't get the big the way
we want. Don't know. It's not the same, unfortunately. But this has like a full. This is more than just this is like a double. This is like a French door. I have like a boob French door instead of a window. Thank you.
I love it. Also, Michael, thank you so very much.
Jason Webster, thank you so much for becoming a heathen. We have another member here. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Oh my goodness. We're going to take over the world one heathen at a time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I saw what Slosher said too, and Slosher's right. Unfortunately, a lot of people in it have been abused in the past too, which is super tragic.
Yes.
And I do think that's why it's things like, sites like OF and the other sites like that are so nice. And I brought this up before. It's so nice because the girl gets to have complete autonomy over the type of content that she does, what she does, how comfortable she is, how far she goes. It's very nice because I know the industry can be. It's not. I do have friends who absolutely love it. They love what they do. They're full on. What's the word I'm looking for? Studios were like big. She was on like Bang Bros or something, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she absolutely loves it, and she's having a blast. But unfortunately, there are some people who.
It is very true. I think. The important part, I think that it does tend to lean into people who have maybe not necessarily, maybe they went into the industry either very naive because it will eat you. It's a monster. It will eat you alive. A very large part of it is people skills and having pretty good intuition. That is a huge, virtually or not. It's like, certain people will give off certain vibes, and if I feel some kind of way, I am on high alert.
Yep.
And I feel like that can be, if you don't have those people skills, it can really, or if you're too young, absolutely nobody who's freshly 18 should be jumping in this industry. It's absolutely not. I will never, ever, ever advocate for that. I think you should try everything that you want to try and do before you come to that point.
Yes.
Because it does change. Life changes afterward. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I lost my marketing job when I first started, and it was very abrupt, and my boss was very upset. Like, it was a weird client-facing thing where he's like, I have a morality clause. And I was like, okay, it's fine. It was, at that point, I was doing well enough that I didn't need that job anymore, thankfully. It would have been nice to keep, a snack. I still sometimes freak out some months where I'm like, but it's, regardless, it's definitely, a lot of places don't care. And I have friends who still do their OF and do everything and have a day job, and their day job knows, and they don't care.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I think it can change your life, but a lot of less people care than you would think.
1,000%. My biggest fear was nothing to do with my family or anything. My biggest fear was, as a parent, other parents and what they would think, and having that negatively affect my offspring. Literally has not been a single problem.
Amazing.
Everyone has been so accepting and nice, and 95% of the women are like, if I could, I would,
Yes. So much of the judgment you just get online, and I swear half of them are bots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because people in general are And now, especially, I feel like everybody has one now, you know?
Yes.
Everybody's like, "I'll give it a shot."
Yes.
It
It's
can be
so
a lot more
true.
work than you think, but it's fun work if you make it fun work.
That's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize how much actual work it is and how
Yeah.
time consuming it is. And there are totally going to be days where you're like, ugh, I do not feel like doing this today. But
Not only that, it's prior to this, I was not a social media girly. Like, my
the social
my
media is the worst
Instagram
part.
was, like, 1 post a month is I'm good. I was not a social media girly, but for this line of work and comedy, and 'cause I know I've talked to other comedians about this too, we'll see a lot of, like, parallels in our industries because it's so heavily based on social media and advertising yourself and how you are perceived by the general public, right?
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me because I'm like, I remember when I first started doing it and like TikTok dances were a thing, I was like, I would rather jump off of a cliff than do a
Yes.
TikTok dance.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
my God. It's so true. The TikTok dances are the worst. Oh,
absolutely horrendous. I
oh
am
my
a
God.
grown woman.
I know. I know. The social media part's the hardest part for me as
Yeah,
well. Um, but it is like when you get into the groove of it and you're like in a place where like, yes, I want to shoot a bunch of content. It's so much fun. It's
yeah.
so much fun.
It is a blast, especially when you really do have boundaries that you stick to and you truly
Yeah.
just do what you wanna do. So
Yes.
cool. And it's, like,
Yes.
fun. You get to know really cool people. You know, people will be like, "Oh, you don't care about the people." I'm like, I have people on there who have been around since day 1 that I have their birthdays memorized. I have, like, all you cannot not care about people.
Well,
That's I
no,
mean,
because you have real
that's your
conversations with these
yeah,
people and you find out a lot about their lives. And a
yeah,
lot of the times they're just really awesome people.
yeah.
And
It's
you
not
just
just, like this weird misconception that we're just evil. We
I
don't
know.
care. I'm like, I cannot talk to somebody casually and then not care. That doesn't
Well,
happen.
I also think that that comes a little bit from some of these bigger OnlyFans girls, and no shade to them. Like, I absolutely understand. Some of these girls have tens of thousands of followers. They're not answering they couldn't. There's no way.
Yeah,
It just wouldn't work.
yeah.
But I think a lot of that comes from bigger OnlyFans girls where it's literally you're just there to buy their content and they wouldn't have time to.
And I have such a I get it. Like, I get it for certain people. I started off with no social media following, so it's been very manageable to me. I also structure my page in a way where I'm only talking to people who have actively been there for a time that have supported me, right?
Yeah.
Um, I sleep. I do go to sleep, and the issue that it's caused from my perspective is I get people who will message me, and I have, like, a thing like, "Hey, I'm on PST," and, like, when I'm awake, like, I'm here, but, a girl's gotta sleep, you know? They will message at, like, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I haven't replied, and they get mad because they're used to these other
Ah,
pages that are online 24/7, right? So
right.
it's created this, like, really interesting they want a real girl, but the real girl can't sleep because the other not real girls are just bless their hearts, but they're pumping it out 24/7, baby. I don't gotta sleep.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have a what's the word? An assistant or AI answering these, which
Yeah,
I think but that's what I like the most about it is the people that really actually value that connection and value the fact that you want to talk to them. Those are
yeah,
the people that stick around and you don't
yeah,
want the other ones anyway, you know?
exactly.
Like
And
that's it's the same. Like I couldn't be online and answering messages all day while also shooting the content that needs to get shot and
yeah,
doing the streams and going into the city to do the podcast and
yes,
like, running the
it's
YouTube
impossible.
or I just wouldn't be able to, unfortunately. So it's kind of like I have to pick and choose the days where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna answer message. But I am thankfully everybody that stuck around are all the amazing people that I want around. So I'm like, yay, like it works out. And
Yeah,
then if someone's gonna be upset that I don't answer right away, then I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
listen, you can't have it both. I will say, though, I actually found a thing, I can tell you about it later, but I did find a thing to set up auto replies to certain things, so, like,
Oh,
you know how if they tip on campaigns,
Yeah.
and you have to send, like, whatever content.
Yeah.
I have mine set up to where it'll auto send.
That's amazing.
So that I did utilize. That way, if I am asleep or whatever the point may be, they're still getting what they paid for,
Yeah.
instantly. That's the only thing that I'm like, that I will automate because that
Oh,
is
no.
fantastic.
Absolutely. No, because
There
that's
for
just
everyone.
sending out the content. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not
Yeah,
you're not, like, answering messages from an AI or something. That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's awesome.
That's
Totally
genius.
recommend. On the flip side, I had somebody who I was asleep. They did tip on a campaign. They got the content, and then they were like, "You're a bot," and I was like, "I'm not. I'm not."
I'm just trying
I
to get
did use one for that so you could get your video.
No. No.
You can't
Look,
win them all, okay?
you can't win 'em all. Well, it's kind of like customer service. It's just
Mhm.
gonna you're gonna if you're in customer service, you just sometimes people are like that. There's nothing you can do.
Yep,
I used to really upset me when stuff like that happens. Now I just brush it off. It
yep,
rolls off, and I'm like, you know what, whatever. It's not
yeah.
that big of a deal. I
I
did
feel it.
I did get a $2 rumble rant from Billdozer. Billdozer, thank you so much. He said, "Oh damn, came back to a bikini, and it's the same one I was gonna wear." Bish, Billdozer, all right, one of us has to change. We can't both be wearing this bikini.
Fright Club asked a question that I thought was interesting. He said for both of us, "I'm curious how much crap you got online for having tattoos." I've seen trolls just snap on stars for ruining their body with tattoos.
People have said that to me, and I don't even have that many.
Um, I I'm trying to think if I have, but I guess I mean, definitely I've gotten the like, "Oh, you're ruining your body."
Yeah.
I love the classic, the Sistine Chapel is like a work of art or whatever, they painted that bad boy inside. It's
Yeah,
on their brain
honestly,
walls. But I have never really been one who's ever done things for other people in that sense. Yeah,
I love
I'm not tattooing for anyone but me. So, I like tattoos. I was telling you before we hopped on, I can be kind of a cheap girly.
that.
But what I do support spending my money on is tattoos because it's the only thing that's gonna last me all my life. So I love it. I'm like, it's the only thing and everyone like, there's some that I have that I don't necessarily like anymore, but I keep them because it's like a little part of my past.
Yes, it tells us it's the story of your life.
Yeah.
You remember I mean, Jesus, I got this one on my back here after I was eating cupcakes out of the trash because I was in, like, a crazy, like, binge purge cycle, and
Yeah.
I threw the cupcakes, and it was just, like, a really weird emotional time, and I got this tattoo totally I
Yeah.
got it the next day born out of all this emotion that I didn't know what to do with. That's still one of
Yeah.
my favorite tattoos, I love it. Like,
Yeah.
and I look back at it, and I'm like, "You got past that shit. I don't do
Yeah.
that anymore." Like,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
you
I
know?
love it.
I love yeah, no, I have also people being like, "You ruined your body with tattoos," and I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
that's I don't
Thank you for letting
I
me know.
yeah, like, I don't know what you want me to say to this. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sleep with you, so I don't know why you care." Like, this is it's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
it's
that,
not your
Remy.
body.
Yeah, it's exactly. I love Remy and her trash panda phase. That's what I'm calling it, my trash panda phase. Oh my
Yeah.
god, so much yes to that. People online can be so weird. You must get it too. It's just a very I swear to God, most of them are bots. It's just a very odd place to be because people really feel like they need to to tell you
Yes.
whatever they're thinking.
There's there's troll comments and those or whatever, but the people who get, like, genuinely upset or bothered by I love thanking them for contributing to the engagement on my posts. I'm like, "Thank you so much for contributing to the
Yes.
engagement here. I really appreciate it." And they almost always delete their comment because 'cause they're like, I will not be contributing." Uh, I will not be. No.
You're like,
Uh,
"Oh, got upset." I have never in my life been upset enough to comment on something.
nope.
I don't
Never.
get it.
Not a single time in my life. I That is a fascinating, I would say, brewing illness because I'm just simply not bothered if it's not hurting you or, if it's only affecting the one person,
Yeah,
why you so pressed about it? It's
I
always
don't care.
a lot of
Sorry.
old white men.
Yeah.
A lot of old white men.
Yeah, I do
Ooh,
notice that.
that's
Or honestly, old white ladies too.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't old it's just old white people.
Yes. Yes, it is. They do always have the most to say. Like,
It's so hilarious. And Bill Dozer also said here, when they attack like that, a lot of them are negging as a tactic to curry favor. It works on some girls. I think Camelot talked about this. It must work on some girls because people do it.
there's
Remy, you're the cool old white people. We're never talking about you guys.
for Remy. There is people who, yeah, it's negging, and they'll do it on the spicies, where they'll come in and they'll say things just to get a reaction because they want you to be mean.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yes.
you have to watch
Yes.
yourself. You gotta. That's the people reading. I'm like, hey.
That's your oh my god, you're so right. You're like, this is your kink. I'm not giving this to you for free.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Backhand said Zia, no calling out half your chat. I don't think of any of my chat as old. Franklin, you stop it right now. Hey Max, that's a good point. I guess maybe people would comment on their own race's creators more. I guess that's possible. That's probably actually, yeah, because I guess Black Twitter's a thing that I didn't know about. I found out about that only recently. I'm very sheltered, clearly. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. I feel like I have a lot of. I have a very diverse fan base because the black men love a white girl with a booty.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes.
So do the white men, some of them, but without fail, the black men love a white girl with a booty. Just wait, they're on their way.
I always
You
knew.
keep those hip thrusts.
Keep those hip thrusts. I always knew when I moved to LA. I have to preface this by saying there really aren't any Black people in Hawaii.
No,
There's
I
like a
can attest to that.
couple.
Maybe
Yeah.
two, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, there's like two. I know K-Max says, where's Rod? Reese was here. I don't know if he's still here. But yeah, I think I always, when I moved to LA, I noticed that when I started to get thicker, that started happening. And I was like, oh, it took me a minute to put two and two together. And I was like, that means I'm gaining weight. I always could tell I was gaining weight when I started getting hit on by Black guys at the restaurant. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I've been eating a little extra.
Oh yeah, yep. The carbs are carbon.
It's so funny. That's so true. So true.
I knew about Black Twitter because Black Twitter came to me. That's all.
Yes, there you go. You knew knew nothing about it, and people were talking about Black Twitter, and I was like, "What's Black Twitter?" Blue Stroll, Blue Stroll. Oh my gosh, Blue Stroll is here. He's alive. Hi, Blue Stroll. He's a mod we haven't seen in years. He's been gone for like, I'm exaggerating. It hasn't been that long, but
I was like, what?
He's back after years.
I'm here. I brought him back.
Blue Stroll, we're going to do a question for you. Well, not for you, but you're here. So we're going to do a question. Okay. No, we're skipping that one. Okay. I, 18 female, recently turned 18. I lost my virginity. Have been putting myself out there more sexually. I've hooked up with 3 men so far, all over the age of 30. We just talked about this. After the first hookup with each of them, they've all expressed interest in finding another girl to have a threesome with. Is it normal that every guy I've hooked up with asks for a threesome? Is it me? They all tell me I'm great and enjoy themselves, etc. But how can I be enough when they all ask for more? It honestly upsets me when they ask. Maybe I just think about it the wrong way since it's not something I'm into, or because I'm new to this. But I do take it personally. Unfortunately, it makes me really doubt myself and feel insecure. And that is why it's not the best idea to hook up with someone older when you're fresh. You just turned 18 years old because you're still finding yourself, you're still finding your sexuality, you're still very unsure about yourself, and that's just my heart breaks for this girl.
I do want to say though, pretty normal. Never met a man who isn't down.
No, that's all of them.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's to be expected. Kai, I'm not, because we're going to 250 and I will.
250. Where are we at now? Backhand's doing math for me. I'm sorry, backhand. We're getting there.
207 a second ago.
207. Okay, we're only 43 away.
I could 43. Be wrong, but I feel
think
like
you're
you said it
right. Yeah, no, that's very, very normal. I just feel like there's a right way to do it. And I do think when you do it, you either she's too young. This is why. This is the problem. She's very unsure of herself sexually. She just lost her virginity. She shouldn't be hooking up with dudes over the age of 30 because they have a lot more of experience and she's still sort of figuring things out. And of course, you're going to be insecure. I do think threesomes work better either when it's a bunch of people who don't really care about each other or if you're super solid in your relationship.
Yeah.
You have to have shit figured out. Your communication has to be great.
You shouldn't be doing it if you're not super solid in your relationship.
Yeah.
That would be,
Yeah.
that would be a thing.
Yeah.
I would say Fright Club said he hated it. Interesting.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not saying no, I'm not saying that they'll all necessarily love it, but I'm saying at the core, pretty much every man definitely has that fantasy.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah.
I will say.
It's interesting too, because I have heard of some people being like, yeah, we did it and I regretted it. It was a mistake. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
And I think that's because you probably either did it with the wrong people or whatever. Like, don't do it to fix a relationship.
It won't.
It will not.
It will not.
No.
That or have a kid. Don't do it.
No, exactly. Yes. Do not have a kid or have a threesome to fix a relationship because it's not going to work. Yeah. It didn't work out for poor Ross. Ross had to leave and go eat a sandwich.
If you have relationship problems, bringing another person into it isn't going to help.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah, it doesn't work for a lot of things. So I think that this girl just needs to get a little bit more experience and just get a little bit more comfortable with herself and her sexuality and maybe hook up with some guys a little closer to her own age.
100%.
Because yeah.
Sometimes I have to step back and go, the difference between 18 and 30, both
Huge
in time, but mainly maturity is crazy.
It's huge. Like when you think back, especially, I'm not saying that it's just girls, but especially when you're a girl, because it's, I will say being a girl is tough.
Yeah.
The insecurities are tough to get past.
Yeah.
You see, you hear a lot. It's like, I just think that you have to build that confidence up and older guys and I do think not every older guy, but a lot of times when an older guy goes after a girl who's just freshy and I saw it happen with my father. It's easy for them because they can manipulate the situation because she's young and she's naive and she really looks up to someone like that. And a lot of those guys can kind of be controlly and
100%.
I'm not saying everyone. And I know age gap relationships where I think it's totally cool, totally fine, no big deal. The age gap works, it makes sense. Like I know couples like that.
Yeah. It's just the 18 to 30 is wild. In 10 years when she's 28 and he's, 40, thank you.
No big deal.
Yeah, then that's a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 18 that's
I agree. I agree 100%.
Feels not right,
It does. It's also I think it's because when you're 18, it's like I was 18 in high school. Like I turned 18 before I graduated.
So did I. What month?
February.
Oh, I'm March 12th.
Oh my God, you just had a birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy 1 month even later birthday to you.
Thank you. Yes. Dude, it was so fun at the end of high school when I started signing my own stuff because I was like, bitch, I'm 18. I'm an adult. What's up? I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
The coolest person in the world to roll into school with a tattoo. I was like,
honestly, that would have been cool for me to do if everyone else in high school didn't already have tattoos. It was not.
Mine didn't. I'm in the black sheep mode, You're
the cool one. I love that. That's awesome. I got my nipple pierced when I was 16 because my grandma took me, and a bunch of kids I knew in high school had tattoos. They were just, I don't know how, I don't know if a parent took them or they just got some like behind the scenes, but they're like 16 with tattoos and shit. It was wild.
Okay, wait. Did you get only one pierced?
I only got one pierced. I pierced this one.
Why? I always wanted to know why. I never had someone to ask.
I don't know. I only ever wanted one. I didn't want them both done. I can't tell you why. I was like, I
Fair
just want this one done. I liked the look of it on one side. On one side.
That's a fair answer. I didn't know. I had no idea if it was I've always rocked both, and I'm, super weird. I have a little bit of OCD, so everything has to be even.
Symmetrical. Okay.
Yes. Down to the point, like, where when I chew food, I split it in my mouth and I chew it on both sides of my mouth. I am psychotic. It has to be done.
Not psychotic, but
My
that's
hair
interesting.
it's very interesting. But I've always wondered if it was just like I just wanted to do one, or if, like, you got one and it really hurt and you're like, "Never mind," on the other one, you know,
I
I've always wondered.
don't remember it hurting. That's the funny thing.
No, mine didn't hurt, but I
I
know that varies.
I know it varies. I was really expecting a lot of pain. The
Yeah.
funny thing is when I did it, because obviously they use a hollow needle,
Mhm.
he didn't get the ring through on the first time.
Ugh,
So there was just blood pouring down my my nipple onto my stomach, and
ugh.
he had to go through again.
So I had mine done, when I was 18, and then I got pregnant, I had my kid, and I had taken them out during that process for very obvious safety reasons.
Yes.
Afterward, I got them redone. Getting them done the first time, not bad. Not bad at all. The second time, so I don't have a lot of room to work with, right? So he couldn't go in front of it, and he couldn't go behind it. He had to go through the scar tissue.
Ooh.
This man's hands, and you know how they clamp it and, like, pull it
Yeah.
out? My shit's
Yeah.
pulled up to, like, here, it felt
Oh
like. It
my
wasn't, but
god.
it felt like. And his hand was, like, trying to push it through. It was
Oh, ow. Your poor nipples.
horrendous. It's
Oh no.
like
Oh, you poor thing. That sounds like because the scar tissue.
that was gnarly.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, actually,
Like,
honestly, speaking of tattoos and piercings, we have a question pertaining to this. I also have to thank we got Frank and RJP both dropped 43 to get us to the goal. So we're like double and over. I think we're at cat cow already. He said, I don't even know what this goal is for, but I guess I'll find out now. Frank, you did it. And this is to get Ellie into a bikini. And RJP, you did it at the same time. Thank you both so much. Oh my God, you
okay,
guys.
I can do it?
You can do it.
Okay,
Yay.
I'll be right back.
Thank you guys so much. That's so freaking kind of you. And then with K-Max afterwards, backhand, K-Max did a golden shower boy after that. And K-Max, when she gets back, I will ask your question because it's a good one. You guys are so freaking incredible. Seriously, thank you so much. We're doing another spin. We're doing another spin for thanks. And we're at cat cow. Oh, heck. Oh, holy heck. Hi, John Roberts. Welcome to the stream. You made it. You made it with the raccoons. We are at Bikini. We did it. You guys are incredible. Oh, my goodness. Happy Friday, heathens. Remy just gifted 5 memberships. Okay, one of these has to go to MA. Remy, thank you so much. That's 1 to Amazing Disgrace, Anthony, Danny V, Chris Thompson. Yay! And Free the Right Side. Ah! Hi, Daniel Cantu. No MA. Thank you so much. You're right. This is just comical at this point. I don't understand. Remy, thank you so much. Not yet. Oh my God. That's such a cute bikini. I love it.
I don't think you saw it. I sent you a video of it before because I wanted to make sure that it was.
Oh, I totally missed that. How the hell did I not see that?
It's okay. It's okay. I was like, hopefully it's good.
Oh my God, I do. Sorry, no, that's Frank's scar tissue. I see it. Okay. I see his scar tissue. All right, hang on. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Yeah, 2 hours ago.
It's
They're
okay.
so cute. Oh my
We're
gosh.
here.
No, it looks good. It looks perfect.
I was like, please tell me
It's
I don't
great.
get in trouble.
I mean, look at this. I'm like, I do push the bounds a little bit, but I am careful. I always cover the NERPs and like make sure I see it, Franklin. I don't have scar tissue, I don't think. There's still like little tiny holes though on either side. I don't think it goes all the way through, but you can still see a little tiny. Out? Yeah, I took it out.
Yeah.
I don't have it done anymore.
I will not be taking mine out ever again. I'll be 87 years old rocking those bad boys because
hell yes.
I ain't never getting them re-pierced ever again.
Pretty sure my grandma is 80 and she has hers done.
He said we need a spin. Do I do a spin?
Oh, we can do a spin.
I got a lot going on back there. Hold on, let me
That's
scoot
the
this
best
back.
kind.
Okay.
Oh, I love those tattoos down there too. And the tattoos back there. All good.
My skanks tattoo.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay.
We're also I'll ask K-Max question first, and then we'll do cat cow. And you're about to see what cat cow is, and this is definitely pushing the bounds, but also I found a really good workaround, so I have to talk my way through it.
Okay, I'm
and
ready.
So far it's been good. But first, K-Max, thank you so very much with Golden Shower Boy. He said, what is the next tattoo either of you might get, or are you done? I guess the main decision is what is the right tattoo to get and where to put it. K-Max, that's a good question.
I have 5 million tattoos planned. I'm currently finishing my back. It is almost done, except I didn't know what to do at the bottom initially because I want everything to blend, and that's the really complicated part for me, especially with the cheekies because they're kind of like their own separate pieces. So anyway, I decided my back is like a big graveyard. With like an old decrepit church and this gigantic vulture. I'm gonna do a like a fence, like an old like cemetery looking fence that's like broken down with like a crow or two on it. But after that, I need to go back to working on my legs. I started my legs, and then what happens is I have so many ideas. And I did my cheeks, and then when I did my cheeks, my back felt so bare that I was like, oh my God, I have to do my back. And now I really need to get back to working on my legs.
But that's what happens. You're like, you start filling in places, and then you're like, wait, okay, now I have to do this part.
Yes. And then when I was getting my back worked on, I was like, what are we going to do here? He's like, I don't know. I'm like,
do you go to the same artist for all of them?
I do now. Someone asked that while you were gone. So when I was younger, I started getting tattooed when I was 18. My first one is this little sparrow.
Cute.
I didn't have money, right? Like I had 18-year-old money. So I jumped around a lot of different artists. My leg artist is actually a different artist than the one who has done my throat, my chest, stomach. I'm kind of leaning forward there. My back, the cheekies,
pentagram.
Yeah. So I have one artist for my more fine line stuff, and then I have one for my thicker stuff, my more traditional looking stuff. Yes. So it's two, but mainly I've just been going to the one lately.
And that's actually makes a lot of sense because I know some tattoo artists really specialize in specific styles, specific art styles. And it's good to
what I really wanted on parts like my arms and my legs, I like the traditional style, but on stuff like my neck and here and my cheeks, I still wanted to have like some level of femininity. And traditional can be very bold. And I kind of like having the dual styles too. I feel like it's a nice contrast. So yeah, it's two guys, but lately mainly the one. Oh, he didn't.
Awesome. That is awesome. And then you have someone that you trust because you're like, okay, I know this person's work is good. I can go back to them. They can work with you on what you want to do and where you want to, like all the planning and stuff that goes into it too.
Oh, and I don't even plan. I'll just give him like a general idea at this point. I'm like, this is what I would like. Do what you will. I get there, and every single time I've been like, yep, that's good. You know, maybe we add like a little bit more or something. But he's super cool. His wife is amazing. We've become great friends. We go have barbecues and stuff. I love it.
I love that.
It's fun.
I love that. I became friends with the girl that does my hair. I actually have to text her because she was like, if you ever want to hang out, and I was like, yes, because I just moved and I don't know anyone where I live. And I want to go see Final Destination. So I'm going to ask her if she wants to go see it with me. But I love when you meet people like that. Yes. And it's so funny because we would talk about all this stuff. And I forget, she hadn't seen the show Supernatural. And I was like, I think you'd like it. I said at one point it gets a little biblical, and I kind of tapped out around season 5.
Yeah.
But like at first I really like the sort of monster of the week story. And I was like, they'll fight like Wendigos and all this different stuff. And she's like, this is why I love talking to you. I have to explain to everyone else what a Wendigo is. I was like, these are my people. And sometimes you just meet them and it just ends up working out so well.
You want to know who my hairdresser is to me? Because this was a leap of faith. My hairdresser is my ex-boyfriend's baby mama, who she started doing my hair while he and I were together. And I was like, oh my God, the first time I went to her, I'm like, please don't fry my hair off. But I'm
funny.
Clearly not with him anymore for like 6 years now. And I love her to death.
I love that. That makes me really happy. I love when that kind of stuff happens.
I know.
And they're not together anymore either, right?
No.
They had a kid before, then you guys dated, and then I love that.
Yep.
I mean, I just love that there's no jealousy or weird. Animosity. I like that. I like when stuff works out that way.
100%.
Got 5 more gifted memberships. Just kidding. What's up? Just kidding. Thank you so much. Holy crap. One went to Ricada Law. Hell yes. Shout out Nick. Nick is awesome. One to Hugo Leonardo. One to Darren Sutton. One to Widow Killer. Excuse me. And one to Dial C4. Thank you so much. So many heathens. We lost Ellie. We lost her. Maybe she'll be right back. I'll wait. She got custody of the hairdresser. That's so funny. I'll wait till she comes back to do cat cow. If she comes back, I don't know what happened. Oh no. Okay, well, we shall see. Oh my God, we got more. Holy moly. Franklin just gifted 5 memberships. Okay, some of these memberships went to good people. Oh, she's back. Okay, here we go. Hi.
I'm a total
It's okay.
Is all that it happened.
I thought maybe your internet cut out, and I was like, hopefully she'll be back.
No, you know what? I never use Chrome. I accidentally swiped when I was trying to just go scroll up on the chat, and then it was gone. And I was like, oh my God.
You're like, oops, just kidding. Sorry. Yeah. I have done that before. Franklin, thank you so much. That's another 5. MA's got to get one at some point. One to Johnny D, one to Colin Shanklin. I'm just reading random things now. One to Brian Johnson. Hell yes, Brian's awesome. One to ASE Presents. That's Mint. We love her. And one to Podcast Media, who we also know. But MA, this is crazy. Oh my God, Franklin, thank you.
What? Can I ask, and you can give me the quickest, briefest rundown, because I know nothing about YouTube. What is happening?
Okay. So you can get memberships. If you get monetized on YouTube, you can do memberships so people can purchase, and so they can get different perks. You can have members only videos. You can do members only streams. I just got them back, so I have to start planning my members content. You do members only posts. Cool. So it's just like a cool way to support the channel, and then people get some perks and stuff.
I love that. I pop into dad meets and I'll always do the super chats, but that's as far as I've ever learned about YouTube.
Oh yeah. God, I love dad meet. I love those guys. They're so great. Mike Rainey is awesome. Yes. They're both awesome, but 25. Old Nerdy, you're not terrible at it. We're just trying. Oh, Slasher says, tell her why you got demonetized. Okay, yes. So, Old Nerdy, thank you so much. That's one to Yankee Gorilla. MA has to catch one of these. This is out of control. Anyway, I got demonetized because I sat on a cake on stream. Yes. It was for, 100 bikini streams in a row. 100 and Daddy Vote, it really looked like a murder scene because it was a red velvet cake.
Oh my God.
and I sat on it and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't realize, okay, it was 100 in a row. It was a celebration and I ate pieces of the cake. It was comical. Yeah. It was disgusting. I didn't think anything of it. Turns out it's fetish content. So
yeah.
I got demonetized and
I did a workaround with that. So I've done that a couple times. I did, I made TikToks about it, but I cut out the actual sitting on it part. So what I did is I
Ah.
showed me, like, baking it and everything, and then I showed, like, the setup and then the after.
Smart. That is so smart. That's what I should have done. Well,
But
it's
then I
live. I
have the
couldn't, but
actual videos,
elsewhere.
Just
Yes.
kill
The
2 birds
other
with 1
places.
stone, you know?
You guys know the place, so you just cut and then cut to that. That's
Yep,
so smart. That is
it
such a
was
good
fun.
idea. Um,
But I see it. Was it full, like, back end focus? Is that the problem?
no, it wasn't. It
Really?
was just on like this, and I went down and I sat on it like this, and like we were all laughing, and everybody's like, "This is disgusting," and then I was like eating it, and like so I just it. I guess technically it could have been fetish content, but it was totally for comedic purposes.
Yeah.
And YouTube was like, no. We even whatchamacallit, tried to appeal it and did say it was for comedic purposes. And they were like, we after reviewing it. Blah, blah, blah.
After reviewing it, you a hoe. Get
Yeah,
out.
exactly. That's exactly what they basically were like. They're like, this bitch, absolutely fucking not.
Mhm.
And I didn't answer you. I'm sorry, RG. I mean, not Kmax. I'm probably done getting tattoos for now. I can't think of anything else that I want right now. I got all the ones that I want. I got this was my first tattoo. This is my
Cute.
fucking name. It's so
Oh.
stupid. It's so dumb. It's the
Oh my
Chinese symbol for my name and it means summer. And I always knew it meant summer, but I got clarification because I showed the tattoo lady, my tattoo lady, the Chinese lady. There's a Chinese place that we go to regularly to get takeout.
Yeah.
And she's super nice. Now she knows me. She's like, your name, Chinese. And I was like, she's like, Sha. And I was like, yeah. And I showed her this and she goes, oh, yeah, Sha. So
Oh,
I
good.
know.
You're like, "Woo."
Thank God. I got this one. This was the last one I got before I left home. So it's a little infinity feather. And this is freehand Hawaiian tribal that
Cute.
I got there. And then I got this one is for my mama. Little
Aw,
roses. One of the things I remember the most about her is she had a rose garden when I was growing up. And
that's
so
super sweet. I have a lot of not meaningful ones.
look, some of them are, some of them aren't. This one is stupid as shit. It doesn't mean anything. This was the dumbest one I've ever gotten. This one also doesn't really mean anything. I got it on my kitchen table.
Hell
My
yeah.
friend did it for me. He lived with us at the time and I gave him $20 and a pizza.
Hell yeah. I have to show you. Oh, go ahead with your heart one. I have
Oh,
one that you're gonna love.
I want to see. It's where can you see it? It's the music notes that make a heart because I do love music. I love music a lot.
Cute.
I'm a music lover, music snob.
You remember when everyone was like, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?"
Yes.
So, part of that, I'm a very visual girl. I wanted to know what me as a worm might look like. At the time, the blonde side of my hair was blue.
Ooh, love that.
So, um,
You have you as a worm.
it's a big titty worm. Oh,
I was gonna say my favorite thing about that is the big titties. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
yeah. So, and then next to it is a reverse mermaid.
Oh, I love
So,
that too. I just love that they're like wonderfully weird. Those are so unique. I don't think anyone in the history of the world has them as a worm with big boobs. Like,
I
that's
have.
amazing.
I ran into a girl that I met a few months ago. She has under her left cheek. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God, I love that so much. I love that so much. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended. Dude, they used to get me with that all the time. And I remembered once I just answered and I was like, I don't have a car. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh, sorry.
What are you gonna do? Oh, buy me one first, then.
Yeah, buy me a car and then we can have this conversation,
Yeah.
sir. Meanwhile, he's probably some guy in fucking India. That's
Yeah.
so funny, though.
It was
That is
fantastic.
so good.
It was great.
On her face. There's that guy that what was he sold his face like tattoos on his like for ad space. He got like a Taco Bell
Oh my
tattoo.
God.
I don't know if you remember there's a story on him. He and eventually some place like gave him, or did the tattoo removal. Yeah, for him for free to help him so he could like go out and get a job. But he had like Taco Bell and like whatever other, but they were all over his face.
That is hilarious.
So funny.
Terrible life choice, but so funny.
Funny for us. I'm glad he at least got them removed as well.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Okay. I'm going to do cat cow.
I don't know what this means, and I'm excited.
So this is a stretch. It's very educational.
Oh, yes. I am prepared to be educated.
Yay. Okay.
See,
do you see YouTube? I am doing good. I am helping people with their stretching. So what we're going to do, everyone, is let's just make sure this is okay. Yeah, it covers everything. We're going to get down into tabletop position.
Oh.
So on our hands and knees like this. This is in yoga, they call this tabletop. And what you're going to do, this is a great stretch for, your whole body really. It stretches out your shoulders and your lats all the way down to your lower back, your hamstrings and your glutes. And so you're going to start by arching your back. This is the cat portion of the stretch. This really stretches out my lats and my lower back. So actually, this is when I have a sore lower back. This is my favorite thing to do. Either this or get into a pose like this. Those are my favorite lower back stretches. And then
I'm being silent because I'm taking notes back here. I just wanted to say.
No, thank you. See YouTube? Do you see? She's taking note. I'm sharing really important information. And then you're going to release your stomach down and your glutes up towards the ceiling like this. Sometimes I like to rock back and forth to really stretch my hips out very nicely. Oh, that's good.
Good stretch right there.
A good stretch. And I just do it a few times. Breathing in on the cat and out on the cow. So this always makes me really calm. And then I just like to end it with a quick toe touch.
Just further stretching it out.
Yep,
that is genius.
It out.
Genius and extremely educational. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome. See, do you see this, YouTube? I am helping people. And I make sure everything stays covered.
You do.
I used to get dinged on that until I started talking through it like a stretch.
That is so funny.
There's naked yoga on YouTube. That exists.
Yep.
They're like fine with
there's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than that.
I know. And then meanwhile, these small creators are struggling because they're like, you're in a bikini. This is sexual content. And I'm like, excuse me. I've seen girls getting massages, Asian girls getting massages from dudes with massagers down here. And that is like everywhere.
Have you seen that gay gentleman who does tutorials on all sorts of things like how to clean? Yeah, how to clean yourself out.
Yep.
And it is full, you can see it all.
Yep. I've heard about the beehole waxing one, and I think it's that guy. And it's just because it's educational, and it's like, oh, just get out of here. Get out. Also, another thing that I see all over Instagram that they keep trying, or they've stopped since recently, but every once in a while they'll be like, you want to see breastfeeding videos, right? And I'm like, no, I don't.
I know.
No.
All the time.
It's so weird. And that's no problem. That is all good.
Yeah.
God.
It is. I do like, though, I have wanted to, maybe you'll get in on this with me. I've wanted to set up a protest because you can have a lot showing for protests.
I am with you on that.
People. And I don't know what we're going to about, but it's going to be
something.
Yep.
I like this idea. I like this idea a lot.
I'm like, I need more friends because I don't have enough for a protest, but eventually.
I wonder how many people you have to get together for it to be a protest. We could start
I had a
recruiting.
very similar conversation to this a couple weeks ago. It wasn't about protests, though. It was the how many people does it take to make a schmurgy? You know, like
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yep, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
what's the minimum number?
What you're right. What is the minimum for
It's
that?
5. By industry standards, it's 5.
Oh.
So now
So
you
if
know.
it's a 4, it's just a foursome.
Yep. But
3
if it's
threesomes,
5
obviously
or
is
up,
5.
yeah,
Ah, okay, all right. What
now
about
you
a G-bang? What's for that? How
also
many?
5. That was my
Also
also my
5.
follow-up question. Yeah. Oh, no. That one might have been 4, actually.
Okay, 4 or more.
And then my question follow-up to that was, train. And that one's it
Right.
can be 2 apparently, which I was like, "I wouldn't consider that."
Ah, that's not a
You don't ever
train.
see a train just with the main car and the caboose, you know what I'm saying?
No,
It's
no,
gotta have I
that's just
say
like
at least 3.
at least 3, you're right.
Yeah,
That's like a tag team, I feel like,
yeah,
with
yeah.
2. Yeah, okay, all right, you're right,
Now we
3, a
just
train.
know the minimum number for a protest.
Huh. Actually, let me ask Grok, I wanna see if they have an answer. What is the minimum number? Is the minimum number for, like, an impactful protest or just a protest?
I guess what's, like, the minimum amount of people required for it to be considered a protest? I don't
Oh,
know.
that's a good one. Of people required for it to be considered a protest.
It's a valid question. John says 5.
There's no universal legal or formal threshold for the minimum number of people required to constitute a protest. Um, it can technically involve just one person, often referred to as a solo or one person protest, and still be recognized as such in many legal cases and social contexts.
Zia, we're going on a protest.
2 people protest. We got
Yeah.
this.
Or is
Okay, now we just have to figure out what we're protesting.
that is that is the important part, I would say.
It's we can protest something.
Oh, yeah.
Something important.
Oh, 100%. There's so many options, I feel.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good one. I'm not going to be able to think of it on stream because I'm
No, of course not.
retarded, but
But in, like, 2 hours, you'll remember. You'll have
I'll
so
have a bunch. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll be like, "Oh my god, by the way, I
Yeah.
have so many." Oh my god. Ooh, okay. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah.
Are you feeling up for it?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
girl, I'll stay on here forever if you keep me
Okay.
on.
Okay. All right. So this girl said, my boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 24 female, were out to dinner with my parents, grandmother, and 2 brothers, ages 12 and 14. My mother, I got into an argument that resulted in her on purpose throwing her drink down, and it got all over my boyfriend. This is not the first time she has made a scene in public. Oh, she sounds fun. He is done being embarrassed by her outbursts. I am too, but I guess I've gotten used to it because I grew up with it. Due to this, I've basically been given an ultimatum. I can choose one of 3 things. I can completely cut contact with them. I can still see them, but he is 100% not involved, or we break up. We have been together for 4 years, and I know my mother is an issue. She has been an issue with just about every guy I've been with due to her behavior. I've always felt like I'd have to cut her off, but I don't know how to do that without being cut off from my brothers or stepdad. He is not being an asshole about the situation, but at the same time, he can't take worrying about when, where her next freakout will be. I've known since very early on that I wanted to marry this man, but I just don't know what to do. I love my family, but at the same time, I can't keep doing this with her. She always brushes these outbursts off like it didn't happen. I know if I cut contact with her, I will lose my stepdad and brothers until they are 18 and can do things on their own. What should I do?
Have we tried to talk to her about it? Because
My guess that would be step 1. My guess is if she's having these types of outbursts and tries to act like there's nothing going on afterwards, she's in extreme denial about a mental health issue that she clearly doesn't want to get a handle on.
yeah. And the thing with that is at some point, family is definitely family, 100%.
Yeah.
However, you are important. You are the most important person in your life. And if your happiness is going to be so negatively impacted by your mother, I feel like that's a cut contact time. Losing your stepdad and your brothers will be difficult, but I also don't think that that necessarily has to be the case, especially not for the brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I actually stopped talking to my dad for about a year and a half because I
Yeah.
was just, and honestly, I brought this up in therapy the other day
Yes.
about, and she was like, maybe we have to, I was just talking about my frustrations with him. And she was like, maybe we just need to talk a little bit more about what type of relationship you can have with him, if
Yeah.
any. I was like, you know what? I guess you're right. Right.
That's the truth.
Um, but I also think here that there could be a little bit of a compromise where his ultimatum, it wasn't you either break up, you either cut contact or I leave. She could still see them minimally, but he's just not involved.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a perfectly fine solution.
That's
I
an
mean,
option too. Yeah,
if he doesn't
I
want to be there, don't be there.
don't be there. And I don't think she should force him to be there, especially if it's not like the family is loving and welcoming to him and he's like, fudge you, I don't want to be here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, he's not being an asshole here. She's like throwing her drink on this boyfriend and it's out having these crazy outbursts, embarrassing him in public. So I totally get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
If I were her and she really doesn't want to cut complete contact and still wants to see her dad and her stepdad and her brothers, I would drastically reduce contact and just not have the boyfriend come around with her at all until her brothers are of age and she can, if things don't get better with her mom, then she can go no
Yeah.
contact.
I totally agree. I really didn't consider the fact that he would be open to that. So that is a really good point. I'm like, cut her off.
Yeah, you're like, get rid of her. But
Yeah.
I do think that would be the option. If he was like either cut her off or like, I would go with the cut her off. I would.
Yeah. And the level of the like what kind of relationship I think is such a good point too, because I have a family member who we can't talk in person. We can't. Um, the ways that we are different are far and wide, and the few ways that we're similar are unfortunately in the ways that make it conflicting. So we have we don't talk a lot. When we do, it's usually via text, but that keeps things civil. It's just how it has to be done.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
And there's nothing wrong
it's
with
that
that. And you
level.
guys know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yep. That's what works, and that's what we do to keep everybody happy.
I don't think that you have to excuse shitty behavior from family just because they're family.
Nope, not at all.
I really don't. I've cut my grandma off years ago. She still tries to reach out, and I'm like, you're just an awful person. And I don't
Yeah.
see her becoming a better person. It's not like she's trying.
Especially not when you're grandma age. I feel like you're pretty set in your ways.
You're set in your ways. She
Yeah.
is like, yeah, oh God. Yeah, she's a nightmare. She tried to message me being like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And then when that didn't work, she went back to being like, oh, grandma loves you randomly in my inbox. And I'm like, grandma,
Yeah.
I'm not adding you on
Thanks.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I'm
There's a
good.
reason that everyone in your life has cut you off.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you can't sleep with your daughter's boyfriends and then be surprised when they don't want to talk to you anymore.
Absolutely.
Oh, crazy. My family is ridiculous. That'll do it. Yeah, I do think she should probably, at the very least, distance herself from her mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no. Now we have the other end to it, the other side of the commenting on the male part. Okay. This girl said this happened a few months ago, but I just found out today what it actually means. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. He's normally very sweet and kind and isn't the type of person who would say something purposely hurt my feelings. I don't remember how we got on this topic because it was a few months ago, but he jokingly said that my VAJJ was like a roast beef sandwich. I remember initially getting a little upset by him saying this because I just didn't want it to be compared to that. I already have insecurities about that body part, and it didn't sound like a very pleasant thing for it to be compared to. Fast forward to today, I overheard some coworkers of mine talking, and they were saying that if your vagina gets compared to a roast beef sandwich, it means that it's bad, and most people don't like it. Now I'm so scared that my boyfriend thinks my vagina is gross. Have any other gals on here dealt with this? Should I bring this up to my boyfriend, even though this was said over a few months ago?
First things first, own that, because there's a girl, I love her bio so much on X. It literally says more roast beef than Arby's. Like that, she just owns it. I'm like, I love you. She just owns it. If he's still going in there, he's clearly not bothered, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
also love Arby's, M202. I am a Arby's stan.
Thank
I
you. I'm
stan.
constantly defending Arby's.
Oh my
Yes.
god, I love Arby's. That being said, I definitely would have said something sooner than 3 months down the road. But oh yeah, maybe he said it as a good thing, who knows? I would just mention it casually, be like, "Hey, I didn't really love that," and then just let it go and move on. He's still going in there. It ain't stopping him. And to be
Yeah,
fair, we don't know if he said it as a positive or a negative.
that's true. Some guys really like that.
Oh
Some
yeah.
guys
Oh
like
yeah.
that's like their thing.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
that's possible. Some people
And let
don't.
me tell you, it ain't stopping nobody. It ain't. If they're
Nope.
in the time and the place where they get to find out that information, they're gonna see it through.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so true. I heard it was actually Ashley in my chat. I love her to freaking pieces. But she mentioned, she was talking about how she would want to lose weight if she were ever to do like, talking about how she wants to lose weight. And I'm like, Ashley, I've seen her naked. She looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I've had no complaints. And it's like, no, any little
No.
insecurity that you have with yourself, either someone loves it or they are not seeing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
It
it's
is.
not.
And if you're happy, girl, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
That's all that
it's true.
matters.
People can talk shit, and honestly, if he's gonna say it in a shitty negative way, then leave him. Don't be with him. There's no point. There's no point being with someone that's gonna pick apart your body.
He's still going back in it though, so
Also
I'm
true.
saying
Also very true.
it's not a problem. It's not a problem for him. But a shitty joke to make if it's something you're self-conscious about, for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Here's the thing, though. If you left your partner over every shitty thing that was said, no one would be in a relationship. You're
Yep, that
going
is.
You're
Yep.
going to accidentally hurt people you love. It just sometimes you're being thoughtless, being a little bit careless. Sometimes you're being you're angry, and so something shitty comes out. It's that just happened. There's no way around it. You're gonna do it to your partner, they're gonna do it to you. As long as you're actively trying to not do that or be like, oh shit, you're right. That was a shitty thing to say. Let me,
Yeah.
whatever. It's gonna happen sometimes.
Yep. That's life. Relationships, friendships, everywhere. Work.
Yes. Yes. You have to have at least somewhat of a thick skin. It's a
Yep.
very different thing if the person is constantly criticizing you and tearing you down. Nobody wants to be around that. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I'm with
thank
you.
you,
It's not an issue.
Saw. I appreciate you.
Aw, he's so cute. That's so sweet. I love how nice you guys are to everybody. It makes me so happy. Okay. Oh no. All right. So, this girl said I've been single for almost a year, and I had my cat, which stayed with me for all that long, since my last breakup. Recently, I met this cute guy, and our vibe matched. We went for a couple of dates, and we ended up falling for each other after a couple dates. Lately,
People, cats.
oh, it's gonna be something like that. Lately, we started hanging out at each other's place, but whenever my boyfriend comes to my house, he criticizes my cat a lot. At this point, I have seen that he has no love for cats, but he has love for me. I love him, but I also love my cat too, since I have spent the longest time with her. I feel like soon enough we might disagree with him about my cat. I don't know how I can convince him that my cat is here to stay, because I tried a little and I love it as much. And I love it as much. Please advise me on, because I am not ready to lose my pet over him. What can I do about this situation?
Man, my pets are my family, and they do no wrong. I couldn't do it.
No, I
Couldn't do it.
can't.
I couldn't do it. I have when I always had dogs growing up. I'm a dog person. I don't dislike cats. I just have always had dogs. Uh, I always had dogs growing up. When I turned 18, and I finally got into like my own like good little stable place, I got my first dog. She was a shelter dog. She was the coolest dog ever. She lived to be 16. I just put her down last year.
Oh
Old,
my
old
gosh.
lady. She was awesome.
That's
I can
amazing.
tell you wholeheartedly, if I met anyone anywhere along the way who had an issue with my dog, that would be it for me. Sorry.
Honestly, yeah, you can't be with someone that isn't. I'm more of a cat person, but I also don't dislike dogs. I think dogs are adorable. I just happen to be more of a cat person. But we did have dogs growing up too. We had Rottweilers.
Yeah.
Rottweiler puppies are so freaking cute. Oh my God. Big fat little
Tara
paws.
Tara said, so it's okay to give up a possible lifetime relationship for a pet that will only live to be around 15. It's person to person basis, for sure. I personally, animals have and always will be a staple part of my life. So I could not be with somebody who did not share the same love for the critters.
It's more of a value thing. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's not necessary. It's more of like, okay, this person obviously isn't a cat person, but I am. So we're not going to agree with this throughout our
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. And that sucks.
And that sucks. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm giving up a pet for a person or a person for a
Yeah.
pet. Also, who knows if that relationship's going to last? You give up a pet
Yep.
that you love and then you guys end up breaking up. It didn't sound
Yeah.
like they'd been seeing each other
Double
for that
whammy.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have pets?
I don't have pets. I want a cat, but my husband is allergic to cats, and so we've been kind of holding off. We've thought about getting one that is like hypoallergenic.
Get one of those hairless cats. I want a hairless cat, but my
They're
dogs are
cute.
terrorists. I have two dogs. I have an English Bull Terrier, Minnie, and a Great Dane. And then I love reptiles. I have a blue tongue skink. I have three geckos. I have a ball python.
I want to get a snake so bad.
Oh,
That's
she's such
another
a
one.
weirdo.
Snakes are so cute.
So cute.
Yes, snakes are
I
adorable.
could not be with someone who didn't want pets. Like I
It's
couldn't do it.
it's a personality. Like when you have to have
Yeah.
similar like values when it comes to certain things. Do you want
Yep.
kids or not? That's going to
Yep.
be a non-negotiable. You have to be on the
Yep.
same page with that. Do you
100.
want pets? You have to be on the same page with that. I
Yep.
think religion not necessarily, but
Not
it's
nowadays for
still
sure.
yeah. I do think people can make it work if one's religious, one's not, or they're different religions, but I think it's harder.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
it can be harder.
Yeah.
Especially because if someone's values align with a certain religion and the other person's doesn't necessarily, there can be some kinks there.
The Fright Club.
Fright Club, he does. Funny that you say that, John. Love is not an emotion; it's a promise. It's also a choice.
It is 100%.
That's like you're not going to like your partner every day, man. You think 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road, you're going to like there are going to be days where you're the most annoying person on the planet. You choose to love them.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like those butterfly feelings that you get in the beginning of a relationship, they fade.
Yep.
So it has to be built on mutual respect, understanding, and a general
Friendship.
enjoyment of friendship. Yes, like that's number freaking one.
Yes. I love
Yeah.
that. That is a good point.
It is. I think people forget about that. They just think that you get into a relationship and it's happily ever after, but that's not. And they also take work.
Yeah. If that was the case, the divorce rates wouldn't be so high.
Yeah, like what are they like 50 or 60% or
I
something?
think
Like
so.
it's high.
Yeah.
It's like really high.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that there aren't reasons to get divorced. There obviously are. I think
Oh, no.
sometimes you have to, but I do think sometimes people are like, the magic's gone, and it's like, bitch, you haven't done any. You got to work on it.
I have a controversial opinion about marriage.
Let's hear it.
I think you should not be allowed to get married until you are 35 years old or older.
Might not be a bad, honestly, it might not be they said, it's funny, I actually read this stat when we got married and I was like, oh good. Apparently if you get married between the age of like 32 and 35, your marriage has a much higher chance of going the distance.
Yes, that's why I say 35.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I remember reading that.
Yeah, I'm like that should be. I mean, I think it would save people a lot of trouble. I also think there's like this, I know when I was younger, I'm divorced. I got married when I was 21. Like
oh my God, same.
Yeah, it was a stupid
6
decision.
days later.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, a kid. I was, I mean, I'm an adult legally, but not in the
No.
brain,
No.
I think it shouldn't even be allowed. I think that if you have a strong enough relationship, fantastic. It will last just that long, and it will be, I think, objectively more exciting to get married at that point. Um, but I think that
Agreed.
you should be at least 35. I think that is, mind you, I'm 32 saying this.
No, I also same thing. Mindless, you're right. To be fair, that I think that's slightly skewed by serial divorcers. That is true.
True.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I did the exact same thing. I had just turned 21. It was with my the boyfriend I had been with since I was 16,
Yeah.
and we were getting married to so I could go to college. I
Yeah.
couldn't get a certain type of loan because I was still dependent on my dad.
Yep.
And he wasn't paying for college. So I was like, how do I do this? And she was like, well, you can either have a kid or get married.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, I'm definitely not having a kid. And it was
Yep.
supposed to be a secret. It was supposed to be just for that. And then my family found out and were like, no, you have to have a wedding. And, nah, nah, nah. And it turned into this whole thing. And people were like, oh, I'm flying in for one day to do this. And I think at that point, we were fighting all the time.
Yeah.
We never should have been together. We had literally nothing in common.
Yeah.
Zero common interest. We did not like doing the same things. Like, I don't even understand why it was anyway. It's so, and so we got married and then had this wedding that everybody was like really, but we were fighting so much leading up to it. He was already talking to another girl. And, like, it was
Great.
Yeah. And so 6 days later, done.
Yep.
So stupid.
Yep.
So dumb.
I could get behind it. John said marriage is a punishment in some countries. I mean, adulting should be 25, not 18. I actually agree with that one as well.
I kind of think so. It is a bit of a hot take, but I do agree. Like, at 18, you're really stupid.
Yeah.
You're so dumb.
Nothing has developed the way that it should yet.
No.
Especially objectively, and this is a scientific fact, especially men. And I'm not saying that to lean one way or the other. That is a scientific fact.
Yeah, no, it's been known for a while that they, obviously case by case, it just depends. But it's still, you're right, scientifically, they just mature slower than women or like later than women. I mean, that's been known for a while. But even regardless, your frontal lobe doesn't finish developing until your mid-20s anyway.
Yep.
You don't know shit.
Just
Yeah.
wait it out.
Yeah.
Just wait it out.
Yeah. And it's so funny too, because I do agree at 18, it's like you can move out and go to school and get a job and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't think we should be letting them do that.
No. Did you move out at 18?
I did.
I moved out at 17. And I worked at my first ever like tax paying job. Fun fact, I rode horses for years and years competitively. So I had little like gigs. I did lessons and stuff. I worked for a trainer, but my first tax paying job was at a frozen yogurt place. So when I moved out, I was 17 and I lived with my friend who was 18 and married. Her husband was in the military. And so they had the housing. And they had an extra room. So for $100 a month.
Amazing. Are they still together?
No.
I wanted to ask because
military marriage. No, of course
thought
not.
I knew the answer to that, but I was just curious.
Military? No.
$100 a month. Are we the same person? I used to ride in rodeos when I was younger.
Okay, so I did hunter jumpers.
Okay.
But
so you ride? So you rode the English style, right?
Yeah, I initially, when I first started, I did ride Western, but then I started doing jumping.
Okay.
I did hunter jumper, but jumping was my jam. But yeah, English.
That's so wow.
Yeah.
For like alternate universe people. Yeah, I used to ride. I did pole bending and barrel racing.
I tried. Oh my God. So you'll love this. I'll make it brief because this is a niche topic. So I looked for my own horse for a very long time. And then I had a really traumatizing experience where I found the horse that I wanted. And then he injured himself to a point where I couldn't get him anymore before I actually bought him. I kind of gave up after that. And I went down to the Del Mar racetrack. Did you know, after races, if horses have done horrible, or at least they used to do this was many years ago, you can go like in the back and people just sell their racehorses for sucking for like $500.
Holy shit.
So I bought my first horse for $500. I had to leave him out of pasture for months because he was certifiably insane because of the
Oh,
work that they go through.
yeah.
He became my baby. My best
Oh.
friend, she did Western and she did barrels. So I took him as his first show for like exposure. I took him to one of the Western shows just to like get him in, you know how in the arena they'll have a white chalk line?
Hmm.
He jumped it. He jumped it.
He saw the white and was like, this is what I have to do.
Yes. And when other horses were running the barrels, he was losing his mind because like the galloping sound, it was crazy. But yeah, really embarrassing. He jumped the white chalk line.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
Oh,
my
so
boy.
that's how you knew. Is this you're like,
Yeah.
we're doing jumping, this is happening.
No, I
Ah,
liked it before that.
okay.
That was my goal for him. It was really hard to find a horse with the energy and the soundness. And fortunately, he was entirely sound despite being on the racetrack. So he sucked as a racehorse, but he was a great jumper.
Amazing. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And 500, that's so cheap for a horse.
I have one of my old shitty tattoos is for him. It's his old race name.
Oh, what's his old race name?
I'm so glad you asked. It's 502, which could mean one of two things. It's either the Kentucky area code, which is what I think, but it is also conveniently the retired code for DUI.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until after I got it tattooed on me.
That's hilarious. Have you ever had a DUI?
No, I haven't.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
if
a
I
good
did, I'd
thing.
be like, yeah, it's for my DUI.
You're like, that's I should get a 502 tattoo now. I do have
Do
a
you have a
DUI.
DUI?
Yes, I have to get it taken care of because I want to go to Canada.
Oh yeah. No,
And
I don't really like to drink, so I've never had a DUI.
good. I've been sober for 11 years, and there's
Hell
good
yeah.
reason for that. Actually, not quite 11 years, almost, but
Oh, so it's
October.
off anyway.
Yeah, well, it should be. It's apparently it's never off your record. Like I looked into it, and I can get it taken off. I think because
Yeah.
it's been so long.
Yeah. Once it's past 10 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than 10 years, so it actually should be easy. But I want to talk to an immigration lawyer just so I
Make
can
sure.
see if yeah, I don't want to get up there because if you get up there and you don't tell them that you have it, they can turn you away at the border.
Yeah, they get mad.
Yeah, they don't like that very much. So I'm gonna work on it. Rod Tholomew, I don't know if he's even in the chat or if he's just coming in here on his night out. He said, not sure what the total is at, but here's more money. Rod with 40. Thank you so much. Rod's out for his shenanigans, and he's just like, no,
Oh.
we're getting to whatever goals are happening. Thank you. Gosh.
Tiff said you can visit, but you can't go for work.
So I was looking into it, and I thought that I couldn't even well, I could visit maybe. It's up to their discretion though. I could be turned away. So it was like one or the other.
Yeah. Interesting. I should go
Wait.
to Canada. I've never gone. I've been to Mexico, Italy. I've done a bunch of Europe. I've never made my way to Canada.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I want to go to Italy so bad.
It's
So
gorgeous. But can I tell you something horrible? I
yes.
had better Italian food in Paris than I did in Italy.
No way.
Yeah. So that was shocking. I know.
I am shocked. I am shocked.
Yep.
That's
But it could have just
wild.
been some bad restaurant choices. But I
Well,
did have better Italian food in Paris.
it's funny because you never know. Now it's a little bit it can be a little bit easier if you like really do research on Google Maps and like but if you don't read the language it's hard cuz you don't know if it's just like a touristy restaurant or if it's like a real good. It's hard to know.
Yes. Yep.
So I always worry about that. Like I want to travel, but I'd have to do a lot of research into like where's the places you should actually be going.
Italy was amazing. I would go back to Italy. I didn't really care for Paris. I'm like scared there's someone in here I'm gonna offend. Didn't love it. I'm not a big city girl though. So the parts of Italy that I enjoyed, I did stay in Rome, but traveling outside of it was what I enjoyed into like the actual like the picturesque like you see in the movies, like the really skinny little walkways between like the big old brick buildings. Like
Oh,
that was my jam and the countryside.
beautiful.
I didn't love Paris, but that's personal preference.
So I've heard that for multiple people.
I imagine if you're like a city person, it's probably amazing. I don't even like LA. Like, so I don't really want to travel to be it's nicer than LA, but like I also almost got kidnapped in Paris.
Oh my God, I believe that. What happened? You hear about that happening all the time. That's so crazy.
Okay, so something that I love to do anytime I go to a different country, but also I do this in Hawaii, and you'll know why. I like to go to McDonald's and I like to go to Starbucks because the menus are so different. And Hawaii is really the only other state where you see like a notable difference in my
They spam
experience.
eggs and rice for breakfast
Yep.
at McDonald's there.
So I went to, there was a McDonald's right around the corner from the hotel that I was staying at. So I wanted to go check it out and like see what the menu is like. So I went over there, I got some food, and I was walking back. And as I was walking back, there was a guy leaning against a wall, smoking a cigarette, and then there was another guy just like standing by the curb, whatever. I walked through them, but as I walk through them, I am aware that they both like dude gets up and this one comes in and they're walking behind me. So I start to walk faster, and they start walking faster to the point where I'm about to take off running. And the guy on the left-hand side reached forward and grabbed my arm. There was another hotel to my left, and I booked it into that hotel. And I started screaming is really what made him let go.
Yeah,
And
yes.
booked it into that hotel that was not my hotel. And they took off. It was terrifying.
Oh my God, that's insane. You did the right thing. You
Oh,
did
yeah.
the single smartest thing you could do. Scream, make a scene, and
Yep.
get into a place immediately.
And this was, like,
Shit.
not even lunchtime, like, it was still pretty early in the day, broad daylight, like, just bold as can be. It was crazy.
Is insane.
Yeah. So I didn't love
Wow.
Paris, and then that happened, and I was like,
I don't blame you. It's crazy how I mean, this can happen to anyone anywhere, but it's like you have to be so aware. It's
"Oh,
so
yeah,
good that you're like aware of your surroundings.
yeah,
But you hear about that happening in Europe all the time. People getting kidnapped and sex trafficked, and it's
yeah."
just absolutely terrifying.
It was
Holy shit.
crazy.
I
I
don't blame
stayed
you
in
for not liking
that other
Paris.
hotel for so long, like and my hotel was only, like, 3 more, like, doors down.
Yeah.
But I was so terrified, I was like, "Imma just stay here."
Did they help you? Were they like, "Are you okay?" Or
Yes, they checked on me a
good,
lot, and I just
good.
sat in the lobby, I was, like, shaking, I was
Holy shit.
terrified, so I just sat in the lobby for a while, they brought me water and a snack, and I just sat there for a while, I was like, "Oh,
Just
just
gonna
move
hang
my
out here.
reservation over here, I'm not leaving."
Yeah, you're like, "Actually, can someone bring my stuff over?"
Yeah.
That is so wild.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
I mean, I'd be a little nervous to travel anywhere, even though I really wanna travel. I mean, my list is so long, but there are certain places that would make me a little nervous to go as, like, a tiny blonde person. I'm like, "Maybe you don't go to parts of Mexico," or, like,
Yeah,
"This to be on the safe side." Um,
definitely not alone for sure.
no, no. I feel like I'd feel pretty safe going to, like, maybe Japan. I wanna go to Japan so bad.
I wanna go to Japan just for the 7-Elevens.
Yes! Girl, yes! Dude, the sandwiches they have, like,
That
everything.
strawberry and cream one.
Yes! Oh my god, are we watching the same videos on YouTube?
Yeah. Hello. Oh, look. There's one. Oh god.
You're
I'm
like, "The hair's on the wrong side, get out of here." Um, yeah, I wanna go to Japan so bad. I think Japan, South Korea, obviously, I'd love to go there. Apparently, there's a place in China called Macau that looks awesome. The food looks really good. It's apparently like their version of Vegas
Oh,
with
cool.
like a bunch of casinos, but they have like really good food. Really, I want to travel to just eat. I want to
Yeah.
go and just eat everywhere.
Did you
That's
watch Anthony Bourdain?
I did.
I love him.
So great. And cuz he really got into the culture of it. Like it
Yeah.
was it him another one that another show that I started watching recently, obviously cuz Anthony Bourdain passed, but it's Somebody Feed Phil with
Oh,
Phil Rosenthal. It's on Netflix and he's the creator of Everybody Loves Raymond
oh,
and
cute.
he's just the sweetest man. He's so sweet. And he traveled same sort of thing like Anthony Bourdain. He travels around to different places and it's yeah, it makes me really want to travel. Croatia is another place I really want to go to.
You
I
know
would
what I
be careful
really
there.
yeah?
I just it's It's beautiful, but I don't know. There are just certain countries that make me a little nervous where I'm like, I want to go so bad, but I also would want to be careful.
I've heard the Virgin Islands can be pretty sketchy.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's one in particular where they're like, "Do not leave the group."
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I have not been there. I really wanna do Greece. I really wanna do Australia really bad.
I've
I
been to
wanna do
Australia. It's the
Have
one place
you?
I've traveled to. It was a lot
How
of
was
fun.
it?
It was awesome.
I feel like it would be amazing. I do wanna go for, like, the wildlife side of things, though, which also I obviously wanna go to Africa and do, like, a safari and all that.
I did get to pet a koala.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you get chlamydia?
I did not get chlamydia as far as I know. Oh, darn, I didn't
A
get
souvenir?
chlamydia from the koala. It's
Koala-mydia?
isn't that so funny that you find out they just have a bunch of freaking STDs? But yeah, I saw that. No, it is. It's really cute. They have koalas, they have wallabies, they have I know, I'm sorry. I literally one of my mods years later, I went to the exact town that he's from.
Why
I didn't
would
know
you
him
do
then. I
How
didn't
dare
say
you?
I oh, it was awesome. It's Newcastle. It's right on the it's a beach town.
Oh,
The
cute.
beaches are amazing. Like just we went up to the Gold Coast, and I went to Sydney. So I didn't like travel around a ton there, but I was in those 3 places and honestly it was awesome. And I will say the stereotype about Australian people is real. They party from like at least the people that I was hanging out with, partying from Thursday to freaking Sunday, like out of control. Beer, definitely some other things in there. I was just like, "You guys
To
are
keep the
like,
party going, you
keep
know?
the party going." Yes, I was like, "You guys, I need to sleep. I'm so tired." Awesome.
Oh, backhand, since you're from there, I have to ask, what currently is the minimum wage in Australia? That always
Ooh,
trips me out in comparison to US.
that's a good question.
James, no, I won't.
I do know, that they don't tip there, and that was really weird for me
Oh,
in
I'm a tipper.
restaurants.
That would be weird for me. I am a
Same.
tipper.
I waited tables. I'm a huge tipper,
Oh, yeah.
and I would try to tip like, you can't 20 an hour.
20 an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
It always interests me, but then the exchange rate is so interesting, but I also know that the cost of living there is pretty crazy.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
far as I remember, things were pretty pricey, and the exchange rate going over there was good, but
coming back, not so much.
yeah, coming back, not so much. And that was a weird I kept trying to tip people, and they were like, "You don't have" like, the people that I was staying with were like, "You don't have to do that. We don't do that." And I drove once, and
I
it
cannot.
was terrifying.
Oh, that's ugh, go drive in Mexico and then come back and talk to me.
Oh god, I couldn't even imagine. Is it also the other side of the road in Mexico?
No, but
Okay,
there's,
okay.
like in Mexico, there's no lines, and, like, everybody's just like, "Fit in where you fit in." Like,
That sounds
it's like
terrifying.
everybody, you're there for yourself and Godspeed. Like, it is crazy. You're, like, driving on I assume it's a freeway, I really can't even tell, and I remember the first time I went, there was, we're in this van and we were leaving the, resort because 'cause I'm like a the resorts are cool, but, like, I wanna see what's up, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm leaving the resort, and literally there's, like, 3 on the way, 3, like, car pileups, a van flipped
Jeez.
upside down and on fire, like, just, like, it's, like,
Oh, that's a
pure chaos.
lot.
All
That's a
through the other
lot.
side of the road before I drive down even, like, getting a cab down there is crazy. You're like,
I It's like those videos that you see in, like, Asia, in parts of Asia
"Yeah,
where it's just absolute instant like, there are no lines or, like, India, they're driving through, there's no stoplights, and you're just, like, watching those videos gives me anxiety.
yeah, it's crazy." I
Oh.
I live, like, 40 minutes from the border, so Mexico's literally right there.
Oh, you just hop on over.
Oh, yeah, just yeah, when I went down a couple weeks ago, I just did the footbridge. I was like, "We're not driving because I will not drive my car down there."
I don't
Um,
blame you.
I'm
No
not doing
way.
that. There's parking right by the border, so you can just drive down to the border parking and just walk across, and you're right in TJ.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Is
incredible.
it is allegedly not a good place to be right now.
That's what makes me nervous. Like, I know parts of Mexico are really nice, but I know some parts you're like, And I don't know which parts are which, so I'm like, I don't know for
Yeah,
me.
I mean, TJ can be very hit or miss. It's currently at like a super don't travel there, and I went there a couple weeks ago. As long as you're like going there and you know where you're going. I went to Hong Kong's. Okay. So I'm like trying to beat around the bush. I went to Hong Kong.
Okay.
So
Wow.
you can just walk across the border and there's cabs waiting right there and they'll just take you there and then they'll bring you back. Um,
Okay.
and so they've got it like dialed down because tourism does feed their, economy. So they don't necessarily want anything bad to happen to you. But you do, when you go down there, you take off all your jewelry, you dress very you don't need to stand out, like, you're
Yeah.
just there, you don't need to look fancy, you play it
Dress
cool.
down. Yeah.
If you go to, like, yeah, like Cancun or anywhere like that, and you go to the resorts, you'll have an amazing time. I like to not. And don't go alone. You'll be fine.
Yes, yes. Honestly, I think traveling in general, and I know people that have solo traveled, and it's great. I think maybe there are certain places that you can do that. But I think for me, especially because I haven't done a lot of traveling, I feel like I'd want to go with someone
Yeah,
in general to be
yeah.
safer.
Someone asked a question that I thought was good, but I think it was a little while ago, so keep talking.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Oh, Jason, you're going to Japan next year. Oh, I'm so like there's so many places that I want to visit. Greece is definitely on that list too. Italy for
Yes.
sure. Oh God. Yeah, I want to go to Europe really bad. Sweden. I would love to go to Sweden. I think that would be awesome.
Where I'm from.
You're Swedish, obviously. It's in the name. Come on. Yeah, I am like really torn between do I want to save up for a future or do I want to travel because you can't do both apparently.
No, no, you
Not
can't.
doing both.
Oh, John, I'm sorry. I saw that you asked that question a couple times in regards to what I do. The fetish part of it, I mean, I do stuff like that. But I'm really just a girly who's here to have a good time. I do a little bit of everything.
I love that. That's such a good answer. I'm just here to have a good time. We're
Yeah.
here for a good time, not a long time. And it's
Yep.
true, we don't get that much time on this earth. And I'm not going to have a body like this for that long either. So let's go. Like, eventually, my boobs are going to be down here and there's going to be wrinkles everywhere. Like, we're all going to age. And I'm going to look back and be like, I made the most of that 20 whatever, 30 whatever year old body. Like, let's go. Let's go.
We're doing all that we can, okay?
Yes, absolutely. My
John, I
boobs are
can't
still
narrow it
high.
down because I literally do everything, like literally everything. I don't
It's
narrow it down
amazing.
because I do literally everything.
I love that. I love that so much. She does everything, and now she's made her is this your YouTube debut?
This is my YouTube debut. I made a channel, but I haven't I've been too scared to do it. So you asked me and I was like, this is perfect. She's like you're like my little lifeguard dipping my toe into the pool.
Yay. If you ever wanna do something on your channel and you want someone to, like, do it with, just let me know. I would be happy to do stuff with you.
I would love that. That sounds like so
Yay.
much fun.
Thank you so much for you've been on with me for almost 3 hours. I so appreciate that. Thank you
Oh,
so much because I will usually they're 2 hours, but I always go to almost 3.
I'm
So
having oh, I saw that too. I looked at
okay.
your stuff before I did. I was like, oh, it looks
Okay.
like minimum 2 hours, maximum 3 or more. I'm here for the fun.
You are awesome. Thank you so much. This has been such a fun stream. I had a freaking blast. We gave some great advice. We talked about some really cool stuff. I'm super stoked that I got to like meet you because it was literally just on social media a little bit back and forth in comments and stuff. And I was like, you know what? And I thought about it. I was like, I want to ask Ellie. And then Mindless in the chat, Mindless Self-Indulgence was like, you should have Ellie Stockholm on. And I, for a second, I was like, I didn't recognize the name. I'm freaking horrible with names,
Oh,
faces. And then he started describing you and he was like, she's the she goes to all the skank fest and she's got all the tattoos and she's like very and I was like, yeah, oh my God, yes. I was already thinking about asking her. And so I just reached out and I'm so happy that you were able to do it today.
do you know why I started following you?
No.
It was the episode of oh my God. I think it was RAP before they canceled. And you were on with oh no, you weren't on. You weren't on. Rob Cruz. We were talking about doing a booble fight at Skankfest.
A
And so
booble
they
fight?
a booble and So they brought you up, and then they were like, "Who could we pair her with?" And then Rob had said me, and I looked you up, and I was like, I gotta see." So that's why I started following you.
That's amazing. That's the best reason ever.
I was like, I gotta get ready for this competition.
You're like, all right, let's see these boobs. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. I don't know what a boobo fight is, but I love that so much.
I don't know either. I think just slapping it back and forth, girl. I have no idea. I just listen
I'm
and I'm
down.
like, I know what a
If they bring that back up for the next one, I'm here for it.
Let's go.
Yes, Mindless said, I believe I said men used to fight wars for women like her. You did say that, Mindless.
Mindless, that is the best compliment ever.
I think that's why I started following you back, because I saw that you liked something and I just looked at your profile and I looked at your profile and I was like, oh, she's hot. And so I just follow back because I didn't know at the time. Anytime a hot girl follows me, I'm like, ooh, I get excited.
I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't know you, but yes.
Yes. I get so excited. There's this other girl that I started following on Instagram and she followed me back and she's got like, her pictures are so fire. And I was like, ooh, and I told Nick and he's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, all right, well, whatever.
Well, relish in my excitement, okay?
Yeah, just let me be happy. Let me be excited. But before we go, where can everybody find you? Where are all the places that they can come support you? Your YouTube channel, so when you start doing stuff there.
Oh my god. Okay, so you can actually just go to elliestockholm.com. Boom.
Boom.
Everything is there. I'll add my YouTube to it. I literally haven't done anything on it yet. Don't judge me. I'm working up the cojones. People all the time will be like, you should do like a little podcast or something. And I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. And they're like, just talk. And I'm like, I'm gonna get canceled. But
I grapple with that every day, but I'm the same. I just talk. I just come on here and I start yapping. I don't have a lot planned.
This has been such a cool, comfortable experience. Everyone is so nice. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on. This was awesome. And guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm doing my slow crawl towards 10,000 subscribers. I will get there one day. YouTube is being a real bitch. They everywhere suppresses me. They're like, oh, she got boobs.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. I literally get notifications from Instagram being like, we can't suggest your content. I'm like, it's not even the craziest shit I've seen out there, but whatever, it's fine.
Saw and Mindless. Saw, thank you so much, Mindless. I would love to. Whenever she needs a last minute high energy weirdo with her, I'm here.
I love high energy weirdos. Oh my god, they're my favorite type of people.
Oh, are you going to Skagfest?
I want to. I actually really want to try to make it happen this year. Louisiana's a lot closer than Vegas too, so it's like that's not that crazy.
I really hope you do, so that I can actually like say hi to you for real.
Yes, I would love that. I would love that. So I need to do it. I need to just suck it up and figure out how to go. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's not that hard. It was Vegas last time and I'm a little nervous about flying, but I'm trying a new therapy to try to get over that. But anyway, that's a whole other rant. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. MA, I agree 100%. Franklin, that's not the wrong, that's the right one. That's the right one right there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment afterwards. I will be back on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern for snacks. So make sure you're here for this. I love snacks. I just get to eat food. It's the greatest thing ever. Oh, one more, and it went to Alex Gollum.
Oh, cute.
Franklin,
thank you guys so much. This has been such a fun experience.
Bye.
Bye.